Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today entitled Isip Usap, our webinar for teenagers. The session for today is offered to you by the University of Santa Tomas Senior High School Department in partnership with your dearly beloved school, the Pleasant Mount School. I am Miss Yana De Castro, and together with me is Sir George Santarin. Good morning, Sir George.
Good morning, Miss Kia.
Okay, and we will be your hosts for this morning. Once again, good morning. Let me see our students, our parents, and our faculties in our chat box. You may put your thumbs up sa ating chat box, or you may open your camera so we can see your smiles. And let me see that thumbs up in your houses. Patingin nga po niyan. Let's see our students who have already eaten their breakfast. Ayan. Okay po, so once again, good morning. As our webinar is meant for teenagers, we are expecting to feel the vibrance and energy of our students this morning. And to rightfully start our session, let's first have our opening prayer. So let us remember that we are in the holy presence of the Lord.
Gusto niyo pong mag-speak?
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
May God the Father bless us.
May God the Son heal us.
May God the Holy Spirit enlighten us.
And give us eyes to see with, ears to hear with,
hands to do the work of God with,
Feet to walk with,
And mouth to preach the word of salvation with.
and may the angel of peace
Watch over us.
and lead us at last.
by the Lord's gift to the kingdom. Amen.
Okay, so there we have it. That's our opening prayer. And before we officially start our session and meet our session facilitators for today, let's take note of our webinar rules. Reminder lang po sa ating dear students on your chat box, kindly check there. A link was sent to you for your attendance. Please do take note that you have to type in your names and register in our attendance this morning para ma-record natin at ma-note natin that you're here in our session this Saturday. Sir Georgie, still there? Hello po.
Hello, Miss Kia. Thank you very much for your energetic introduction.
Okay, so now, sir, before we begin, let's have our recap of our webinar rules. Syempre, Sir George, no, number one, we request our students to turn off your microphones during the session so we can direct our focus to our speakers. And you heard it right, speakers, my dear students. We have two outstanding speakers and resource persons for today for the topic that we have in store for you. And if you can turn on your cameras, that would be very great so we could see your reactions while we're having our session this morning. Second one, Sir George.
And also, please don't forget to always to turn off your cameras. That way, the attention will be with the speakers. Okay? Thank you very much, Miss Kia.
Okay, and of course, let's join our game. Sir George, our students for today will not only listen to our resource speakers, but most importantly, also we have our interactive games for you to join. And the best part, Sir George, we have our prizes. So yun talaga yung aabangan natin this morning, no? Other than our speakers, we also have our games. So we encourage your active participation during our games. And third, Sir George, if of course they have questions, what do they have to do?
If you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat box located in Zoom so that the speakers and the people facilitating the event will be able to get your questions and queries for the speakers.
Okay, thank you, Sir George. And also, my dear students, after our session, we have our Q&A portion. So that's the time that you will be giving clarity on those questions that you have during the session. Okay, and to give you also a heads up on the things to look forward this morning, our first session would be entitled Jojowain or Totropain, Engaging a Healthy Relationship Virtually, brought to you by the Personal Development Team. And you know, Sir George, I'm really looking forward to our speaker this morning about love and relationships. No?
Of course, I think everyone will be able to relate to the topic, right, Miss Kia?
Yes, Sir George. Since it's about love and relationships, I think some of our students already have their smiling faces with us, having heard that we'll be talking about relationships. And secondly, our session would be entitled Think Before You Click, a social media literacy webinar from our media and information literacy team. As we go online this pandemic, it's very important to take note of these things to be happening online. So we will also be having that session. And to officially start our session this morning, Sir George, we would like also to acknowledge the presence of the administrators from the Pleasant Mount School. Good morning, good morning. And to give us his welcome remarks, his welcome message, let's all welcome their principal. We are very honored to have this morning Mr. Elmerantes Sadicon from the Pleasant Mount School. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Ms. Kia and sir. Dear colleagues in the teaching profession, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning. It is my pleasure to welcome all grade 6 and junior high school participants in today's back-to-back webinar on engaging a healthy relationship virtually and social media literacy, spearheaded by our very able PTHT President, Mrs. Arlene Alperos. I likewise welcome all the eminent resource speakers today, Ms. Albion Krap Caparas and Mr. April Fernandez, both from the University of Santo Tomas Senior High School Department, as well as our moderators, Mr. George Santarin and Ms. Kia De Castro, also from UST Senior High School Department, and of course, to their committed, proficient, and brilliant Senior High School Principal, Assistant Professor Bolaños. So the theme of today's webinar focuses on engaging a healthy relationship virtually, and social media literacy are immensely pertinent among teenagers because healthy friendships and relationships also mean learning to respect and trust each other. So people respect each other for who they are. People may disagree with each other, but with respect and trust, they can talk about how they feel and work things out. So on the other hand, teenagers are also considered the most significant users of social media. Indeed, teenagers must understand the ability to use digital literacy or must be responsible enough in distributing content, images, and desirable websites to avoid problems, issues, or conflicts. Further, we are proud to announce that this Parents and Teachers Homeroom Team webinar is being conducted along with the cooperation of University of Santo Tomas Senior High School Department, learning areas of personal development and media and information literacy, who's for a quite number of years have been very supportive of our undertakings, particularly in conducting webinars or seminars, both for students and parents. I certainly believe that today's webinar will bear fruitful results and understanding among our students participants. So on behalf of our officer in charge, Mr. Gustav Sangalang, I thank you all sincerely. Welcome and God bless.
Thank you so much, Sir Elmer, for that very warm welcome to our participants this morning. And thank you, sir, for inviting the UST Senior High School to be with you this morning. It's our pleasure to be with you.
It's
Sir
our honor,
George.
ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay po. So, Sir George, without further ado, I think our students are very excited to start our talks for this morning. So, without further ado, my dear students, let's have our first session and let's introduce our first speaker for this morning.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kia. Okay, so for the first topic, let me introduce to you the speaker for the first topic that we'll be having for this morning. So she is a graduate of Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in Early Child Education, and she also finished her Master's in Education, major in Curriculum and Instruction, both at the University of Santo Tomas. And she is currently finishing her PhD in Education and Psychology at the Del Salle University, Manila. So without further ado, let us welcome our very own Miss Auraju Vian Krap Caparas. Let us all give her a virtual round of applause.
Thank you, Sir Joji. Audio check po, Ma'am Kia and Sir George.
You're
Loud and
audible,
clear,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Loud and clear. Okay po. Morning, everyone. So, first of all po, I would like to say hi po and good morning to our dear principal. Hi, Sir Elvin. And hi, Ma'am Arlene, Ma'am Lara. And sa batang umiiyak po, good morning din po.
Hello po.
Yun pala. Okay, baby, okay lang yan. At good morning din po sa aking boss, Sir Wen. Good morning po. And to our dear students and faculty po, good morning. So, early, ganito po kaaga ng oras na po ba? 8:18 po, we will be talking about love and relationships. And I hope not only the students will learn from this webinar, but also our dear teachers. Kasi sa totoo lang po, these are not only for teenagers, but I do believe na pati ang adults natin ngayon ay may matutunan po. Shout out din po to our dear parents. They might be listening to our webinar today. So, hi po. So, to start off po, habang nag-prepare po akong slides, for us to have our full participation, including our dear teachers, pati po ang aking mga colleagues, kailangan sumagot po kayo sa chat box. Hindi po pwede na mga estudyante lang po ang nagpa-participate. So, to start off po, I have a few questions po for us today. First question po, sa-chat na lang po ha. I hope that yung chat box, pag nag-chat po kayo, it can be seen by everyone. So, for the first question po, what is your current relationship status as of 8:19 a.m. March 12, if I'm not mistaken, March 12, 2020. What is your current relationship status? Hindi na po ako magbibigay ng choices. Bahala na po kayo kung ano po ang gusto nyong ilagay. Basta ang akin po makapaglagay po kayo dyan. Okay? So I am waiting for your answers, my dear students and faculty. What is your current relationship status? Ay, safe na taken for meron po nag-PM sa akin, fine daw po, fine. Ano tayo? Ayan, meron pa. Ano ba tayo? Ano tayo? Masaya, masaya tayo. Bea Alonso lang po ba ito? Single. Bakit niyo po dinidirect message sa akin kung single kayo? Hindi po ako matchmaker. Kailangan po it can be seen by everyone. Ayan. Single. Ha, ha, ha. Bakit po kaya natatawa sila pag single? Wala pong option sa okay. Walang option sa end namin. Meron kang option, ma'am. Pero hello po. Ganon. Sa LDR po, okay lang po yan. Single. Alam mo, mga sir and ma'am, hindi po ako naniniwala sa mga to na single. Siguro katabi niyo yung mga parents. Okay. Bored. For the next question, do you think that being attracted or feeling that emotion of love, okay, what do you think about that feeling? Or when you hear the word love and relationships, what makes you feel about that? Are you happy? How can you describe your feeling? Masaya ba kayo doon? Feeling nyo ba, complicated? Grabe, may nag-message sa akin dito mga sir and ma'am. Awkward. Hindi ako naniniwala doon sa kadiri. Parang joke lang yon. We feel kilig sa talk na lang kinikilig. So for today po, we might be study first. Itong nag-message sa akin na study first, siguraduhin mo lang anak na study first to ha. Pag ako nag-research sa'yo at nalaman ko na hindi ka study first ha. Okay po, so for today, we'll be able to know, okay, yung basics no ng attraction. Do you ever wonder, how do we get attracted to a person? Okay? Or to somebody, kahit hindi naman yung, maybe it can be also a fictional character, yan yung hindi magbasa. Okay. Magpapari po ako. Okay, hindi ko alam kung anong i-respond ko dito sa magpapari po ako. Ang dami po kasi nagdi-direct message sa akin. Sige po, babasahin ko na lang po. Anyway po, so for today po, we'll be able to learn more about relationships. And as I said po, haven't you ever wondered po kung how do we get attracted to other people? Ba't ba natin sila nagugustuhan? Okay? Is it all about talpogi at maganda lang sila? Or there are other factors, okay, that comes with it? So, I will be starting my talk for today. Tapos po, get ready lang po for our questions. And sana po ang host natin, tingnan din po yung mga students natin that are participating well. So, maybe we can give them something. Or ako na lang magbibigay. Care of ko na lang later. So, ayan na. So, the title of our talk today is Jojowain and Totropain. So, I will be projecting several pictures of people who are famous, and then later on categories, okay? And then you will just type in our chat box if what do you think about it. If given a chance, jojowain nyo ba or totropahin nyo ang mga taong ito? So again, for the first half, it will be a list or pictures of famous artists or people, and then the latter part will be categories. So the first one is again, shout out po sa parents. Katuwaan lang po ito. Wala po itong halong mali siya. Our first person, okay? Jojowain nyo ba or totropahin si Tom Holland? So, I think he has already a girlfriend. Hindi ko lang po sure kung totropahin daw po, jojowain. Okay. I'm not really sure if sila ba talaga ng girlfriend niya. Mine sa jowa niya. Okay. Yung girlfriend niya yung gusto. Sige lang po. Shout out po kay Justin. He's very, very active po sa ating chat box. Thank you for participating, anak. Totropahin po. Okay, let's move on with the next person. How do you pronounce this, Ma'am Honey? Is it Dayun?
Dayun po.
Okay. Dayun of Twice. Yan. Hindi ako masyadong ma-twice pero. Ay, ang bilis! Ang bilis ng mga kids. Ano daw po? Jojowain daw po nila. Okay, tropa. Bakit ako hindi ako sumasagot, no? Siyempre, tropa lang. Tropa lang to. Tropa. Mine po kay Dayun. Okay, next person po. Ayan. Hinilig pala ako. Bigla. Si Jimin po ng BTS. Ako, iuuwi ko din. Actually, pareho tayo. Sino to? Ria. Shout out kay Ria. Pareho, iuuwi ko rin siya. Record ko to eh. By the way, my dear students, kung meron pong army dito, kapanalig niyo po ako sa pagiging army. Okay? Record ko po si Jimmy. I hope sa mga army, nakapanood na po kayo ng concert. Jojowain, iuwi po. Yan, totropahin. Next person po. Yan. Si Francine Diaz. Uy, pero mature na siya ngayon na. Kilala niyo ba to? Si Francine Diaz. Ayan. Okay, jojowain daw po nila. Jojowain, crush ko po si Francine. Tropa lang po, ma'am. Okay, next person. Ayan. Ma'am Honey, is this from a Thai?
Yes, ma'am.
Thai film, no? Si Bright. Ano nga yung niya? I forgot his. Basta it's a Thai, Thai series. Aasawahin po. Okay. Di ko po siya kilala. Papakilala ko siya sa'yo. Sino tong, hindi ko sure kung sino yung nagsabi po ng aasawahin. Kung faculty po to or estudyante, hindi ko na lang po sasabihin ko sino. Hala ma'am, di ko po siya kilala. He is a Thai actor po. Okay. So, maybe you can research on his series later. Lalaki po ako pero ang pogi po ni Bright. Pogi po. Okay, next po. It's Jojo Siwa. Yung mga kids, I think very famous si Jojo Siwa, no, for our teenagers. Cute naman siya. Tatropahin lang po, ma'am. Ako rin tatropahin ko lang. Next person po, ayan na. We have now our categories. Okay. So, will you make konyo pala ako? Jojowain or totropahin your most beautiful or handsome classmate. Sayang po, no, ma'am and sirs, hindi po natin makita. Sana po pala pina-change natin yung names nila no, sa grade level para ma-compare natin. Okay? How do young adults like adolescent stage tsaka yung medyo mga going to adolescent natin, yung difference, no? Kasi I think there will be a difference in their answers, no, dun sa age bracket nila. Para makita lang din natin ano mga ba yung mga age na leaning towards, no, on the physical aspect pa, and those who are, you know, na ko-consider na yung ibang mga aspects or categories. My most handsome classmate is blank. Ay, pinangalanan na po nila yung most handsome classmate nila. Hindi ko na lang po i-name drop. Next category po, your best friend. If one day you're given a chance, ay, my dear teachers, you also have to answer, ha, yung faculty natin. What if one day you're given a chance, okay, may chance lang naman. So, totropahin pa rin ba or gajowain mo ba yung best friend? Hindi ko pwedeng i-elaborate to that because that will be another topic. So, the thin line between friendship and love. Ayan. Kung ano mga sinasabi nito mga co-faculty ko, ayoko na sabihin ko. Pass po. Pass po. Minsan lang po kasi sila maligo. Okay. Next category po. Uppers, ayan. Ito na. Matamaan na po ang dapat matamaan, ha? The person you met online, such as Discord, FB, IG, hindi ko na sasabihin yung iba pang social networking sites, ha, because I know that some of you are very familiar with the dating sites, so I'm not going to, you know, drop the names of these applications, but what do you think? Talaga ba totropahin? Sige. Ginawa na po namin. Very good. Ay, very good. Sorry. Adult na po ito. Adult na po. Jojowain po minsan. Ayan. Sinasabi ko sa inyo eh. Sige po. Jojowain, ma'am, kahit matagal na wala na. Ay, parang may pinagdadaanan talaga itong... Justy, naka-open cam ka ba? Mga moms and sir, bigyan nyo naman po ng ano yan. Bibigyan ko ng praise to si Justin. Alam nyo po, siya yung pinaka-active po sa chat box. Tatropahin po, ma'am. Pass po sa internet lang. So, salamat po for participating in our Jojowain Tatropahin. Tapos na po yung talk natin. Okay po. So, for the next slides po, okay, I will be discussing regarding about love and attraction. Okay? So, in our chat box again, can you tell me, in your own perspective, what is the difference between love and attraction? Okay. Kaya nyo lang sagutin. Patingin nyo lang. Wala pong maling sagot. Okay. What do you think is the difference between love and attraction? Kaya ba talaga nating ma-distinguish if we are really falling in love or we are just attracted to this person? Mas deep po yung love. Okay. Gaano ka deep yan? Ha? Actually, while you are answering this question, it might also pose a question in your mind na, oo nga no, ano nga ba yung difference? And at my age right now, will I be able to distinguish if I am in love or I am just attracted to this person? Love is deep po and attraction is being attracted to the personality or looks of someone. Attraction more on infatuation sa person. Crush po yung attraction. Love po pag ginawa na. Attraction is when you are interested in a person. but do not wish to pursue them. Love, you care for them. Attraction, you just look nice. Attraction can be physical. Love is mahal mo po siya kahit marami siyang flaws. Uy, guys, pakinggan nyo to. This is from a student. Love is mahal mo po siya kahit marami siyang flaws. Then yung attraction naman po, na-attract ka lang po sa itsura niya and not po sino talaga siya. Hindi ko po sure kung student po ito or faculty. Ito po yung sagot niya. Love is the heart beating faster and deep feelings, while attraction is you notice the person very quickly. Ayan. Mamaya po, meron po kung tatawagin dito ng mga ating mga ka-faculty. No? Love can hurt. Totoo nga ba na when we feel love, our heart beats faster? Or dapat we have that feeling of parang you feel safe or you feel calm? Mamaya tingnan natin if madadaanan natin. Okay, so let's differentiate between them. Attraction, okay, according to our dictionary, it is when, okay, we're actually interested about someone or something, okay? So, tama yung mga sinabi nyo, no, most of you, that when you get attracted, it means that you find something or someone interesting or you find them enjoyable. So, similar to attraction is when we talk about liking. For example, I like you, I like this. So, it is somewhat saying that we are attracted. So, therefore, if attraction means like this, it also means that we also get attracted to our friends. Do you agree with me? Kaya mo nga siya kaibigan eh. Kasi you find that person interesting. You have similarities. Diba? Or you feel that this person is enjoyable to be with. Okay? So technically po, we are attracted to our friends, okay, or to the people that we find interesting. Okay? So dapat habang dinidiscuss ko po ito, tumatakbo na po sa isip nyo, sino ba yung mga tao? Let's move away from the word attraction, no? Kasi tayo kasing sa culture kasi nating mga Pilipino, when we talk about attraction, lagi natin yung mga sagot nyo a while ago, no? I do agree with your answers, but if we're going to face reality, my dear kids, mapapansin na po at ma-observe sa culture nating mga Pilipino, when we talk about attraction, madalas po natin yan, no, na nakikita at nararamdaman, no, not only in our generation, but also maybe in the recent generation, that napapaghalo natin, okay, yung attraction and love. Eh, madali kasing sabihin eh, sa webinar na to, dyan sa chat, what is the difference? But if you're talking about reality, as in the real thing, when we get attracted to someone, when we feel love, or when we feel in love, minsan, no, it's really hard to distinguish because there are certain emotions that are rushing in. So dapat, habang dinidiscuss ko to, you're not only focused on the meaning per se, but also in your mind, you're going to ask yourself, so ito pala yung meaning ng attraction. So, with the people I'm with right now, am I attracted to these people, or is there something deeper already? So, isipin nyo rin, no, why are you with your friends? Why do you like them? Is there attraction involved? Or you are just with them just because they are famous? O kaya naman, wala lang, nakikisama ka lang. Okay, so, we don't focus too much on the definition of attraction, but rather, dapat may reflection din tayo about what is happening to us in the present moment. So, isipin nyo na yung mga tao, no? Attracted ba talaga kayo sa kanila? Baka naman yung mga students tayo dito in adults na for all this time, feeling nyo attraction lang yan, pero deeper na pala yung nararamdaman. Okay? So, again, going back to my question, sabi ko, haven't you ever wondered, no, how do we get attracted to people? No? Ano nga ba yung mga factors, no, that can really contribute for us to get attracted to someone? Okay? Well, definitely, before I discuss the five factors that lead to attraction, ibig sabihin po, these factors can hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na, ay ma'am, so pag mas malapit po ba, ibig sabihin, ay, ma-attract ako sa kanya. Of course, no, it's a case-to-case basis, but According to research and in psychology, these are the factors that can technically help the situation, or factors that we can consider why we get attracted to people. But definitely at the end of the day, gusto ko lang po i-remind sa isa't isa sa atin na meron po tayong kanya-kanyang preference. Okay, may preferences po tayo regarding sinong magugustuhan natin, okay, anong level yung paggusto natin sa mga tao daw. So maybe I can discuss that later. So let's talk about the 5 factors that can lead to attraction. Okay. First, proximity. So proximity talks about gaano kalapit yung tao sa'yo. Guys, my dear students, ano nga ba yung kasabihan natin ngayong pandemic? Huh? About the nearness of the person. Okay? Meron yan, kumakalat sa Twitter, no? Again, proximity talks about the nearness of a person, literal, geographical nearness. Why? Why is it a factor, okay, with regards with attraction? Because more often than not, the person who is near to us, no, pag mas malapit, no, it can breed, okay, liking than hostility, no. Ibig sabihin, pag mas malapit yung tao, mas malaki yung possibility that we will be liking that person, no? Unless merong prior situation, okay, na negative situation na nangyari. So, kung neutral naman yan at maganda naman yung past nyo, most likely, no, it leads to liking. Okay, so that's the thing, no? Tatandaan nyo yun na kapag mas malapit, mas more chances na magustuhan mo yung tao. Okay? So, maybe some of you will ask, ma'am, bakit? Anong meron sa mas malapit? Okay? Ano po yung nagagawa na mas malapit yung tao sa akin? Bakit? So, ma'am, ibig sabihin mo, hindi nag-work yung LDR, yan. So, mamaya, sasagutin natin yan siguro sa open forum. But, technically, nearness, no? Ma'am, mas gusto ko po yung malayo para may challenge. Sige, mamaya, pag-uusapan natin yan siguro sa open forum. But, technically, no, there's something about being near to that person. Okay? So, again, baka meron follow-up ka. So, anong meron sa proximity? Technically, the first 3 factors are very much connected with each other. Okay? So, sorry po. So, ang proximity po kasi, it also talks about people who are available. So, nakikita mo kung sino yung mas available. Okay? Sino yung mas madali yung makakausap, sino yung mas madali yung makaka-interact. And of course, if these people are available for you at mas nakaka-interact na sila, the more that you get familiar with them. So, we are now going to the factor 2, which is familiarity. So, familiarity fosters fondness. Okay? So, the more we get familiar with that person, okay, the more we get familiar, the more that we are exposed to that person, the more that we tend to like them. Okay? So, yun. It's the mere exposure effect. I hope you're getting the connection. Ulit. Okay, sa first 2. Para makonekta natin. Una po, sabi ko, the first factor that can lead to attraction is proximity, yung lapit ng tao. Bakit? Because pag mas malapit yung tao, mas available siya. At pag mas available ang tao, will go now with familiarity. Mas nakakausap mo siya eh. So, mas nagiging familiar ka. Mas nagiging exposed ka sa taong to. And that mere exposure, okay, has a big impact on how we like that person, how much we like that person. Actually, yung mere anticipation o yung looking forward mo na makausap siya, makita siya, that already breeds, no, attraction, no? Yung parang you long to see the person. Ay, ano ba yun? Hindi pa siya nag-chat, hindi pa siya nag-good morning. Okay, so bahala na po kung may mataman at mataman. But may mga ganitong cases, no, ay, hindi pa siya nag-good morning. Bakit wala pa yung good? Ay, wala pa siyang good night. So that mere thinking, okay, yung pag-look forward sa conversation, that already breeds attraction or liking. Okay? So again, the more this person is close to you, the more that you have chances, no, to talk to this person because this person is available. Okay? And because of that, you are being exposed to this person and you are being more familiar with this person. And because of that, dahil may exposure, that lagi siyang available, papasok ngayon yung factor 3 natin, which is similarity. Sabihin, the more we get exposed to this person, the more we tend to know what are the similar things, okay, we have and that person has. So nakikita na natin na, ay, pareho pala kami ng attitude, ng values, ng interest, ng personality. Pareho pala namin ayaw to. Okay, gusto namin to. Pareho pala kami pareho pala namin gusto yung Japanese food, ang Korean food. Okay. So it is said po in several studies that we like people who are similar to us. Okay, mas gusto natin yung mga taong kaparehas natin, no? And I think if we're going to reflect on that in terms of our circle of friends, diba? Pare-pareho nga kayo na naglalaro ng Mobile Legends, pare-pareho kayo ng mahilig sa Korean dramas. Okay, even adults, no? We share the same, sometimes more often our friends, we share the same, energy, likes and dislikes, and so on. Okay, so again, how are the first three factors are connected? Uulitin ko lang para mas malinaw ha. Una, proximity. Mas malapit yung tao, mas nakikita natin kung sino yung available. Dahil available sila, the more we get familiar with this person and the more we get exposed to this person, the more we tend to know, okay, if we are similar with these people. And because of that, the attraction, no, mas nahihina pupul tayo ng attraction, no? Because more often than not, okay, or more often, okay, we like people who are similar to us most of the time, ha. Ito po I'm talking about already mature, okay, mature, mature, parang, okay, yun, ganun. Mature attraction already. Lalong-lalo na po if the attraction is leading towards another thing. Most of the time po, we get attracted to people with same beliefs and values that we have. Okay? So, lalo na po yung may mga matatagal na relationship na yun. Last 18 minutes, ako tinatimingan na ako ng aking mga kasama. Okay po, sige po. And then, yung susunod po is, I would like, okay, to correct the notion that opposites really attract. Okay? So, hindi po totoo yun, no, na opposites attract each other. Sa science lang po natin, sa science subjects, because most likely po, people marry those people who have similar attitudes, values, and beliefs. Okay? So, mas, po tayo, leaning towards tayo sa mga taong kaparehas natin. Okay. Wait lang po, ha? And then, we have the fourth one, which is physical attractiveness. So, wag na po tayong magpaka-shy type at sabihin hindi siya important, but I think physical attraction is very important, okay? And I want you to know that physical attractiveness will always depend on a given place and time and culture. So, nagbabago-bago po yung perception natin ng physical attractiveness, okay? Now, this will now boil down or babagsak po siya dun sa preferences natin, okay? What is physically attractive for me may not be physically attractive for Justin, for Sir George, for Ma'am Honey, Ma'am Lara. So, hindi po tayo pare-pareho ng preferences. But technically po, no, physical attractiveness is somewhat also important and is a factor, no, when we get attracted to a person. Kasi po, yun yung una naman talaga nating nakikita. And we have already our preferences. Okay, with regards with this one. But not all the time naman po, yung mga nakakatuluyan natin, yun yung preference natin when it talks about physical attractiveness. Because, punta tayo sa number 5. Kasi po, there are more things that are far important than physical attractiveness. So, ibig sabihin, baka magtaka kayo, ay ma'am, sabi mo, mahalaga yung physical attractiveness. Bakit naman po yung boyfriend ko ngayon? Or ma'am, ba't yung asawa ko ngayon? Hindi naman yun yung preference ko. Because, as we grow old and we mature, we learn that it's not the end of everything. No? Hindi lang tayo nakafocus sa physical attractiveness. But rather, there are other things that compensate physical attractiveness. such as the fifth factor, which is the desirable attributes of the person. So usually po, no, according to studies, the desirable traits that we look for a person are if the trustworthiness, if the person can be trusted, if the person is warm, and then of course, if the person is competent enough. Okay. So, naku, baka, ma'am, baka hindi ko po ito matapos, Ma'am Alferos, ha? Pero sige po, I'll try my best. Anyway, so that's attraction. Now, we will now go to love. Okay, so ito na yung deep na ating yung sinasabi yung deep feeling. Okay. So wala po talagang definition ng love. Okay, again, ako po naniniwala po ako that love, we don't define love, but love defines us as a person. Ulitin to my dear students. We don't really define love because we cannot really define love no matter what we do. Kahit po we spend our whole life thinking na parang love is like a rosary full of yan yung mga natin, mga parents natin and yung mga teachers natin, no? Ating faculty. So we can spend our whole life na defining love pero hindi po natin siya talaga ma-define because on the other hand, marirealize din po natin that we don't define love but rather love defines us. Yung experiences po natin about love and relationships defines us of how we love and what is our take about love and relationships. So, kung ngayon, meron kayong kanya-kanyang konsepto, no? At meron kayong kanya-kanyang perception or definition regarding about love, it's not because this is what, parang ito na siya, ito yung perspective ko, ito yung natutunan ko. Hindi. Kaya kami ganung perception or description about love, it is because of your experiences about it. So take a look back, how do you define love right now? And you will also take a look back with those experiences that you had. So I will repeat, ipasok po natin sa isip natin that technically, we cannot really define love, but love defines us. Yun. Okay. Sige po. So, dahil masyado pong malawak ang pagmamahal at marami, we can spend like 1 month. Baka umayaw na po kayo sa akin kung every month may meeting po tayo regarding this one. So, para lang po we have the same thought regarding love, okay? We will now take a look at the triangular love theory by Sternberg. So, kung pinag-uusapan natin yung love, we will just take note and take a look at these 3 components. So, sabi ni Sternberg, no, if you wanted to understand love and relationships, you have to look at these 3 components. Okay? We have intimacy, passion, and commitment. So right now, if you feel that, ma'am, ito na talaga, hindi ko in love na talaga ako sa kanya. Well, you might want to check out, okay, on these 3 components para malaman mo kung love na ba talaga to or ready ba talaga ako sa papasukin ng relationship in the future. Okay. Even adults, you can double check your situation right now. Okay, let's have first intimacy. Okay, so intimacy po is the feeling of closeness, connectiveness. Okay, yung ating connection, no? I remember when I was discussing this to our senior high school students, meron silang maling perception na ang intimacy is something that has to do with how do I say it kasi may mga tayo dito, no, below 18 tayo. Akala nung iba pag sinabi natin intimacy, it's something that has to do with sexual attraction. Okay, but I want you to know that it's not. Pag sinabi natin let's have an intimate talk, there's an intimacy going on. It's something to do with how we are well connected and how we are close to this person. Okay, ibig sabihin, this is the time wherein yung mga ating mga walls or boundaries minsan nawawala, no? We get this feeling of parang we can be vulnerable in front of that person. Okay, we as the slide projected says that it includes the experience of we have this mutual understanding, this happiness, no, may trust with that person. So intimacy is like that. Again, it's the connectedness and closeness we have with that person. Next, passion naman po is the feeling of romance and physical attraction. Okay? Ma'am, question po, baka may magtanong, ano pong nauuna, ma'am? Yung passion po ba o yung intimacy? What do you think? Nag-a-attack ba muna tayo or naging intimate muna tayo with the person? And right, chat your answers in our chat box. Okay, sabi lang, ma'am, intimacy po, ma'am, passion po. Actually, it can be, it can be both. Okay, pwedeng intimacy muna, pwedeng passion. Pwedeng, ay, ang cute niya. Tapos nag-date kayo, and then intimacy was formed. Okay? Possible din na intimacy muna, tapos pagising mo ng isang araw, bigla ka na lang nagulat na, ay, ang ganda pala nito. Ay, ang parang gwapo niya ngayon. That's why I always say that hindi malayo magkagustuhan in a more, parang in a higher level ang magkakaibigan because attraction is already there. Attracted ka na dun eh. No? Ang question is, are you willing, okay, to risk the friendship for you to go to the next level? Okay? Now, of course, that is a case-to-case basis and it's a choice between two people, yung pag-level up ng friendship. But what I'm saying here is that possible na intimacy muna bago passion. Okay, pwedeng close muna kayo and then one day mo na-realize na attractive pala or there is a physical attraction between the two of you. Now, it is said that passion can draw people together but without intimacy, it cannot be sustained. Crush mo siya, okay, physically attractive ka, pero if you cannot feel that certain connectedness, hindi magtatagal. Okay, yung ganong setup. And last but not the least, commitment. Okay, hindi nyo naman po ako na-inform, ma'am, na Halloween special po pala ito. Bakit kasi nasali Halloween special? Aba, ang ating mga kids po ay takot na takot. You know, when I ask my senior high school students, what do you fear the most? Ito po lagi nilang nilalagay, commitment. I don't know with our adult teachers about how do they perceive it, but sabi nila, commitment is something that is scary. Mas nakakatakot pa daw po sa mga Thai horror movies. Okay? Can I see, okay, raise of hands, sino po sa atin dito ang takot sa commitment? Patingin nga po. Adults, pwede rin po kayong sumali. Meron po ba dito ang takot sa commitment? Ayan. Ay, hello po. Shout out po kay Sir Atay din. Naslan ka pala. Nahihiya naman ako kay Sir Atay. Ayan. Natakot. Ako rin po. Takot din po ako sa commitment eh. Nakakatakot po talaga to. No? So, commitment po is an everyday choice. Okay? It is not something that is easily. Thank you po. No, you can put down your hand. It's not easily like parang, I want this. Pag may pera ka, mabibili mo siya. No? So, it is something that is really work in progress. So, it's an everyday choice po. So, commitment po is a desire to have a future together. Actually, meron pang dalawang kinds ng commitment eh. Long-term and short-term. I think the short-term commitment talks about deciding to love that person, and the long-term commitment talks about maintaining the relationship. Okay? So, my dear faculty and students, ang masasabi ko lang po dito ay kung may magtatanong po, ma'am, ano po ba mas mahirap? Yung maintaining o yung deciding to love that person? I think both, okay, is very hard to decide. Okay? It's a very hard decision to make. Okay? Minsan nga, tatawa-tawa tong mga, ay nako, tingnan niyo po yung mga mukha nitong mga high school students natin. Feeling ko kaya hindi nag-open ng cam yung mga yan. Tatawa-tawa yung mga yan. Minsan nga tayo the mere fact na mamahalin natin yung tao, hindi pa tayo makapag-decide. Gulong-gulo pa tayo. Ay, mamahalin ko ba ito? Pero mahal mo naman na talaga, di ba? So, again, commitment does not only talk about maintaining the relationship that you have already, but rather, commitment starts when you start deciding or choosing to love that person already. So, nakakatakot po talaga itong commitment. Okay po. So, are you familiar with love languages now? according to studies po, most likely couples break up because they do not know, uh, each other's love language. Or technically, based on my experience po sa mga, hindi ko po experience to experience po ng mga estudyante. What happens po is that they think that this person doesn't love them. Pero, well, in fact, okay, there is another way po of how these people show their love for each other. Kumbaga, ito yung expectation mo, pero iba yung nakukuha mo. Okay? Na pagmamahal. So, let's talk about the 5 love languages. Okay? So, we have quality time. Okay? By the way, gusto ko lang pong linawin, no? Kasi, I think my colleagues and I have already talked about this. If you can remember, Ma'am Pia, Ma'am Honey, Ma'am Fritz, Sir RG, tinanong ko to sa inyo. Sabi ko, yung love language ba, it's posted po kasi, no? A question posted with one of my discussion with my students. Ay, Ma'am, ano po ba yung love language? Yun po ba yung pinapakita natin na way kung paano natin mahalin yung ibang tao? Or is it how we want other people to love us? Okay, so linawin ko lang po, pag sinabi natin love language, ito po yung language of love that we feel most love. Parang ito yung ginagawa ng ibang tao kung saan nararamdaman natin na pinaka-special tayo or mahal nila tayo. Okay? So the first one is that quality time. So people with this type of love language, okay, doesn't like any distractions, postpone dates, or failure to listen to them. Okay? They value quality conversation and quality activities. Kung gusto niyo po malaman yung love language, so we have a website, okay, para ma-check. Ma'am Honey, can you help me? Can you please share to us in our chat box ano yung website na pwede nilang puntahan, okay, para ma-check ko ano yung love language. Next, we have acts of service. So if you have this love language, it means that you want, okay, or you value when people, okay, try to serve you out of love. Okay? Hindi naman yung parang obligation, no? But it's these people, they don't really, parang, hindi naman ayaw nila, but they can see and feel love when people tell them, let me do that for you. Ito yung mga dinadalan mo ng pagkain, sinusundo mo, pinagluluto mo, no? So, these are those people with acts of service love language. The next one po is words of affirmation. So, ano sila? They wanted to hear words. Okay. I love you. I care for you. I wish you kumain ka na ba? Okay. So, people with words of affirmation love language gets shattered when they hear insults. Okay. So, kapag hindi nila narinig na, yun nga, yung mga simple words of I miss you, I love you, take care, or compliments. And then we have physical touch. Okay. So, these people, okay, wants to feel or they feel love when they when people hug them, pats on their back. Okay. So merong physical presence. Okay. Of course, please take note that even if we know that these people have a physical touch and their love language, we cannot neglect or abuse them. Okay, so dapat appropriate and timely po yung binibigay natin physical touch to communicate our love for this people. Dapat safe pa din po yung ating physical touch with people who have this kind of love language. And of course, I think this is the last one, no? Receiving gifts. Okay. So people, if you speak this love language, okay, people with this love language feels loved and taken care of if people around them gives them gift or a simple gesture of gift giving that shows that they are cared for. Okay, so they don't like, no, yung parang they value more when people give them mga maliliit na bagay. No? Parang, ay, naalala kita, so binilan kita. Kahit gano'n pa kalit na bagay. Para for them, it's an act of thoughtfulness and the effort that we give for that particular gift that we give. Okay? So, yes po. Using the love language. Okay, so you can take the love language quiz to get to know more about your love language. Okay, so it's very beneficial po so that we can express different ways on how we love other people. So you have to know their love language para naman malaman din when do they feel that they are loved and taken care of. Kasi hindi na po tayo pare-parehas. Minsan kasi pinapakita natin na, bakit, di ba nagkataka tayo, bakit hindi mo maramdaman na mahal kita? Kasi tayo, we have our own way of showing that we love other people. But each person also have a different way of receiving that kind of love. So you have to get to know what is their love language. Okay, sige po. I will be ending, kasi time na po, I will be ending po my session with this reminder. Okay. Natatawa ko. Okay pa ba tayo dyan? Kung okay pa tayo, pwedeng pahingi nga po ng heart na emoji. Kung okay pa tayo. Para malaman ko lang po na okay pa, igalaw nyo nga po ang mga baso, mga my dear students. Yung faculty, okay na sila. Buhay, okay pa yung mga yan. Yung mga, yeah. Thank you po. Okay, to end our session for today, I would just like you to know that relationships can be difficult nowadays. No? Most especially that in our present generation, label-less relationships are very, very in demand. But I would like you to know that labels or without labels doesn't really matter. Okay? At the end of the day, pare-pareho lang naman tayong nagmamahal. Pare-pareho lang tayong nararamdaman ng pagmamahal. And my ending phrase, bahala na kayo kung paano ito sa akin. Ang masabi ko lang is that if you think it makes you happy, and if it's worth it, then go for it. I will repeat. If it makes you happy, and you think it's all worth it, then go for it. Thank you so much, my dear pupils. And maybe I'll now open our floor for our questions.
Okay, so again, thank you very much, Miss Al, for that wonderful talk all about love. Miss Kia, I feel that everyone learned a lot about love and how we express love, right? So how about you, Miss Kia? Did you had any takeaways from what Miss Al shared a while ago?
Definitely, sir. I think the talk was not only meant for the students, but even the faculty members, even our parents also had their checklist on checking on what is their love language. And in our chat box, my dear students, Miss Honey already sent us a link on how we're going to identify our love language. But then, Sir George, no, my takeaway for today, it really struck it struck my heart, my mind, and everything in between. Ma'am Au said, we do not define love. We are defined by love. So, what is my definition? Nothing. Nothing, sir. Okay, how about you, sir? What's your major takeaway from the talk of Ma'am Au?
Well, thank you, Miss Kia. For me personally, I think it's important that Miss Al shared about when you are attracted or when you love someone. I think one of the most important things that we need to have is that we need to have the same morals and values in looking for a partner. I think it's very integral in a healthy and loving relationship, having the same morals and values. And I also teach that to my students that whenever they look for a partner or if someone to have as or has to have as their inspiration, make sure that they have the same morals and values. So I think that's my takeaway.
Amen. And now, Sir George, of course, our students may also send their major takeaways in our chat box. So, Ma'am Al and other faculty members may also see what have they learned from the talk. And Sir George, this is one of our most awaited events, no?
Yes.
We will now be having our games.
Yes.
I am also, my dear students, go back to your laptop. Some of them have already turned off their camera. So let's again see each other. Open your cameras and let's join our game. And with that, Sir George, who's going to facilitate our game for this morning?
Okay, Miss Kia. Let me introduce to you our facilitator for the game today. So let me introduce our very own Miss Hanilet Arga from the Personal Development Learning Area. So again, please give Miss Hani a virtual round of applause. And don't forget, everyone, please participate. It will be worth it because we have prizes for everyone who will be participating and will be winning for the event. So everyone, please participate.
Hi, Ma'am
So,
Honey. Good morning.
morning, Ma'am
Good
Hani.
morning, Ma'am Kia, Sir George, Ma'am Al. Good morning, dear students. Gising pa ba? Can I get a reaction from, especially from those who turned off their cameras already? Gising pa?
Tulog pa.
Okay, tulog pa sila. Before we start with the game, I would like to know, do you have a GCash number? May GCash? Wala. Okay, manghingi mamaya kay mommy or kay daddy. So, yes po. Aba, merong yes. So, please check your chat box ha. Kung kanino nakasend, baka mamaya kay Ma'am Au nyo masend yung question. So, we will have a game. Anyone here who is fond of watching movies, series? May nanonood pa ba? Or puro tayo module? Ayan. So, syempre, ayan, meron naman. Dahil ang topic natin ay love. So, let's see how familiar are you with different love stories, series, or movies, whatever we have here. So, ang game lang natin, class, or my dear students, very quick, we'll have guess the title. Okay. So, simple lang yung mechanics natin, students. In the following slides, you will see screenshots of different movies and series, both from local and international. So, the first person to guess the title of the movie or series will win a prize. Pero paano natin madedetermine kung sino yung unang makakasagot ng tama? So wait for my go signal. The first correct answer below the go signal will be the winner of each round. So ano yung go signal natin? You can refer to the chat box. So after this line, yung makikita nating correct answer below it, ito yung i-consider natin. So huwag niyong uunahan yung go signal ni Ma'am Honey. Okay? So can I get a reaction once again if you are ready? Okay, I can see people nodding. How about for those who turned off their cameras? Game ba tayo? Okay, all right. Ready na po. Sige, before tayo mag-start with the actual round, mag-sample round muna tayo. Okay. So first, movie. What is the title of this movie? Wait for the go signal. Kindly send it to everyone so we can also check yung ibang faculty members natin and the organizers so we can check kung sino yung... wait lang. Wait lang, Sir George. Mali, walang option. Ako, host lang ang pwedeng makapag-send sa everyone. Participants, can you send to everyone? Wait. Wala pong send. Wala pong option na everyone. Okay. I can only direct message. Okay, sige. Please direct message to me na lang. And then, for the organizers, pa-help na lang po kung sino yung mauuna. Okay, sige. Send it to me na lang po. Alright. Okay, so again, I can see people answering already, but please wait for the go signal. So ang go signal natin, as you can see, I send a very long line and the correct answer below the line will be counted. So ang nauna dito sa screen ko is si Ira Atienza. Ira, from which grade level? Okay, this is grade 10 si Ira. Okay, so sorry. Wala muna tayong prize for this round because this is a sample round. So 5 feet apart. So again, students, please wait for the go signal before you enter your correct answer. Okay, thank you for your participation. Let's proceed to the actual round. Ready na? Again, wait for my go signal before you enter your response. First, series or movie. What is the title of the series or movie? Oops, wala pang go signal. Kailangan i-mention kung pang ilang movie to. Go. Oops. So the first one, according here to my chat box, nauna si Eliza Viana. Eliza Viana. Organizers, can you help me po? Okay, na-note na po ba mga sir and ma'am? Okay, so first winner natin, si Eliza Viana. This is Kissing Booth 2. Okay. Pangalawa, second movie. Okay. Hindi nakikita. Alright, sige, wait lang. Ako na lang po ang magno-note. Okay. Alright, and then next round. Hindi daw nakikita ng organizers. Okay, next movie. Hindi siya movie. Go. Okay, first one who answered correctly. First answer below the go signal came from Johanna. Johanna, what's your nickname? And I can see an anime character for your picture. Anong full name ni Johanna? Johanna. May wrong spelling wrong ha. Okay, see. Johanna Vargas. All right. Okay. Sige. Next round. Okay pa, medyo marami yung nagre-respond. Tingnan natin kung pang ilan kayo next round. Okay, next. Okay, Jorge Mia is the correct answer. How about this one? Feeling ko tuloy ako lang nanonood nito. Okay, first one who answered correctly. Hindi siya third movie. Sino sabi movie to? Okay, Van Precious, F4 Thailand, Malazarte. Okay. Highly suggested ni Ma'am Honey. So, ang ating first answer, sino daw nagsabi na movie to, sabi ni Ma'am Lan. Wait lang. Van Precious Malazarte. Okay. So, third winner natin, this is F4 Thailand, Boys Over Flowers. Panoorin ninyo. Okay, next. What is the title of this movie? Go. Anong Titanic? Hindi. Hindi Titanic. Ayan. Nak, ang hirap i-basahin ng Nemo. First one who answered correctly, this is actually a walk to remember. Prizijuu. Sino to? What's your full name? Princess Joy. Surname mo, Princess? Surname, Princess? Okay, thank you. Wala bang tanong from VU? Sorry na po, mama. Maya. Okay, next question. Anong movie to? Go. Pang-ilan? Okay, first one who answered correctly, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Second movie. This is the second movie, or P.S. I Still Love You. The first one who answered correctly, Denise Ganayo. Okay. Wala. Sorry na po, ma'am. Ayan. All the Boys, second movie. Okay, medyo hirapan natin ng konti. What is this movie? Anong movie to? Okay. Wait for the go signal. Go. Asan na yung go signal? Nawala bigla. Wait lang po, nafa-flood na si ma'am. Hindi ko makita yung dulo. Okay, the first one here, si Hannah Bernaldez. Hindi po kayo, ma'am. This is the House of Us. Ayan. Okay. Okay, Hannah, I already took note of your name, so congratulations. Next movie or series. Okay, go signal, wait for it, go. Okay, this is of course, nako, pang ilan na to? No. Kanina sa sample. So the first one who answered correctly below the go signal is si Ayla Atienza. This is our beloved summer. Ay, okay. Bago lang, yes. Bago lang po nga. Anong back? No. Okay, our beloved summer. Okay, next. Movie or series. Ano to? Go. Hindi familiar? Kailangan complete. Okay, this is He's Into Her. Magkapatid ba itong si Ira at si Ayla? He's Into Her. Pang ilan na to ni Ayla? Ira. Okay, the correct answer is yes, ma'am, si Joao to. He's Into Her. And the first one who answered correctly and completely ay si Ayla. Si Ayla ulit. Siya yung last. Okay. O, so nakadalawa na si Ayla. Mga ma'am and sir, meron tayong student na twice na siya nananalo. At twins sila. O, Ayla, i-share mo na lang kay Ira yung second mo na win. Okay. Okay. So, nauna si Ayla. Keyboard warrior natin si Ayla. Okay, next. Wait lang. Wait for the go signal. Go. Anong title nito? Complete. Okay. Ayaw talaga nilang magbigay ng chance sa iba. So the first one who answered correctly and completely is si, wait, let me go back. What's wrong with Secretary Kim? Ay, okay, hindi naman pala si Ira. It's Hannah Ladesma. Okay, so congratulations, Hannah. Okay. So what's wrong with Secretary Kim? And next one, this is going to be our last round. So anong title ng anime na to? Okay, this is, okay, marami tayong responses. They got it correctly. Hindi siya I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, pero this is Your Lie in April. Wait, let me go back. Sino na una? GSMN. Jasmine, ang pangalan. Full name, JSMN. Your Lie in April, Jasmine Villegas. Okay. hindi na daw familiar yung iba nating faculty. Okay lang yan, mga nag-research din ako kung ano yung uso ngayon. Okay, so congratulations to all the winners. So please send your GCash numbers later on before we end our session. We will be giving you additional instructions na lang for those who won the round for PD, and later on meron pa tayong games. So thank you so much for participating again. Once again, congratulations to our winners. Ma'am Kia, Sir George.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Honey.
Miss Honey.
Okay, Sir George. So at this point, ayan po, ang dami na po nating students who were able to win. And it was very seen kanina, no? Very evident yung age gap natin, Sir George. Iba yung F4 na alam ko sa F4 na alam nila. Okay.
Yes, miss. Were you able to get some of the questions or some of the movies?
Mga sir, mga 2, gano'n. Mga 2 lang. Okay. But then still, I'm very happy that our students enjoyed our game. So thank you so much also for our participants for this game. And my dear students, we're not yet done. Okay? 1 down and 1 to go. But before we proceed, Sir Joji, to the next one, Let's
Yes.
first have one of the administrators from the Pleasant Mouth School to say her words of gratitude. Sir Joji.
Yes. So let us all welcome the PTHT coordinator of the Plasimao School, Mrs.
Good
Nika
morning po.
Robles. Everybody
Good
give her a
morning,
virtual round of
ma'am.
applause. Good morning, ma'am. Mrs.
Good
Robles.
morning po. Good
Morning.
morning po. Good morning po.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Good morning po.
You guys still watch some SARS scam? Oh yeah, later.
Okay, good morning everyone. Do you hear me, grade Pleasanites? Do you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear
Pleasanites.
you.
Good morning po. Okay. Um, I would like to say thank you to all participants of um, to all the participants and speaker as well po. I would like to share first my PowerPoint presentation to award to Miss Aura. Wait.
Start in the front and in the back.
Wait. Okay, wait. Ayaw. Yes, ma'am. Di ako maka-on.
Excuse me po, Ma'am Nika.
Okay.
Is it okay po if I share the screen for you, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Wait
Okay po.
lang, ma'am. Wait po.
Hi, Ma'am Nika. Okay na po. Thank you.
Do you hear me na po?
Yes, Miss
Yes, Miss
Mika, we can
Mika, we
hear
can hear
you.
you. Okay. Good morning po. Sorry for the delay. Okay, the Pleasant Mount School and the parents, teachers, homeroom team cordially award this certificate of recognition to Miss Aura Bien Craft Caparas for her outstanding contribution as a resource speaker during their community advocacy webinar on Isip Usap webinars for teenagers. Jojowain o totropahin, our virtual relationship genuine. Given this 12th day of March 2022, signed by Mr. Elmerante Sadicon, Principal, and Mr. Gustab Sanggalang, OIC in charge. Good morning, ma'am, and thank you. Good morning, Pleasanites, and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Salamat po.
Thank you po.
Congrats po, ma'am.
Congratulations, Miss Al. So, Miss Kia?
Congratulations, Ma'am Au, and thank you so much, Ma'am Nika, for this certificate for our Ma'am Au. No? Thank you so much po. And now, Sir George, at this point, ayan, sabi ko nga po kayo na we're already done with our first session. And now, Sir George, we're off to the second talk that we will have this morning. And kanina nga, no, we also discussed how we're going to be attracted to other people, why love emerges through our relationships. And now, during the pandemic, isa talaga, Sir George, sa ating mga means of communication is doing everything online.
Yes.
And it's very important to be literate in the social media and in our media ethics and other rules that we have to observe as young adults, as adolescents, and as teenagers during this point in time. So, Sir George, we may already start with our next session, with our next talk, by introducing our honored speaker for this morning.
Thank you, Ms. Kia. Okay, so let us get the ball rolling. So to introduce our next speaker, he is a graduate of EB Communication Arts and he also finished his Master of Arts in Marketing Communication, both at the University of Santo Tomas. And he is also currently a faculty of the UST Senior High School, teaching media and information literacy. So again, let us all welcome Mr. Ephraim Fernandez. And let us all give him a virtual round of applause. So, Sir Ephraim, are you here?
Good morning, sir.
Come on.
Morning.
Good morning, Sir Ephraim. So go ahead. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. All right, let me just share my screen.
Good morning, sir.
All right. Hi, everyone. Good morning. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Think Before You Click session. This is going to be a session about social media literacy. So good morning, the Pleasant Mount School. Good morning, students. Good morning to our dear faculty members and administrators as well.
Good morning,
To
sir.
those students, all right, who would like to turn on their cameras during the entire session, that would be greatly appreciated as I see your faces, I see how you smile, I see how you react throughout the entire session. That will be great. So now, what we're going to talk about ngayon is a very important aspect, diba, of being a part of this world. 'di ba? Ngayon, ang gamit natin sa media napakalawak na, 'di ba? I guess maiintindihan 'to ng ating mga teachers, ng people who are a little bit older, na dati ang media talagang for entertainment lang siya, 'di ba? Dati ang media for entertainment, para makinig ng music, manood ng TV, makinig sa radyo. But nowadays, guys, 'di ba? Ang media, sakop na rin niya ang new media, sakop na rin niya ang social media, and every one of us can actually use it. Every one of us can actually utilize this. And sa paggamit natin ng social media, 'di ba? Sa paggamit natin ng social media, we are exposed to so many different messages, so many different posts, so many different content online. Meron sa ating nasa Twitter, meron sa ating mga nasa Instagram, meron din namang mga nasa TikTok, meron ding nasa Facebook. And through these platforms, 'di ba? Through these social media sites, nakakakuha tayo ng information, na-shape kung paano tayo mag-isip, 'di ba? Nai-influence kung ano yung mga bagay na magugustuhan natin, ano yung mga bagay na hindi natin magugustuhan. 'Di ba? So, ang social media napakalaki na ng role. Napakalaki na ng role nito sa ating mga buhay, hindi lang for entertainment, but also, 'di ba, for us to get information every day. Kaya napakahalaga ng session na to para sa inyo, because this gives you a chance to understand social media even better. Diba? So understand what happens in social media even better, and understand how social media actually works. At titignan din natin siya in a lens o perspective ng, okay, ako bilang someone na audience o follower ng isang personality sa social media, or probably pwede ko rin itong makita na ako ay isang creator. Kunwari para sa ating mga students na nagti-TikTok, nagpo-post sa Twitter, nagpo-post sa Instagram, nagvo-vlogs probably, 'di ba? So ito yung mga bagay na titingnan natin. Ang gusto nating matutunan today is all about social media literacy. Okay, ang social media literacy, ito medyo may mga deep terms tayo na ginamit, 'di ba? Basahin natin yung definition by Mr. Niall McNulty ng Cambridge University. Ang sabi niya, social media literacy is looking specifically at social media platforms and learning how to critically analyze the content published here from a technical, cognitive, and emotional angle. Basically, ang gusto nitong sabihin, di ba, na kailangan natin tignan, di ba, yung mga content na published sa social media in many different angles, whether it's technical o ano yung mga bagay na makes it stand out, di ba? What are the colors? What are the sounds? How it is created? Cognitive, di ba? Kung paano natin siya iisipin, paano natin siya ipaprocess, paano natin siya pag-iisipan, and emotional, kung paano tayo naapektuhan ng mga posts or social media content na nakikita natin. All these three work together, di ba? Yung technical, cognitive, and emotional angles ng social media work together para magkaroon tayo ng mas malinaw na idea sa kung ano ba yung kinokonsume natin na content, na mga messages sa social media. 'Di ba? Kapag tinitignan natin sila sa tatlong angles na to at paulit-ulit natin itong ginagawa, mas nagiging malinaw yung messages ng social media sa atin. Mas nagiging malinaw para sa atin kung paano gumagana ang social media, paano tayo nai-impluwensyahan nito, kung paano tayo nai-inspire din, 'di ba, ng ating mga nakikita. Now, in the way that we will discuss our topic for today, kailangan natin tignan na tayo, all of us here ngayon sa Zoom, can be creators and also could be audiences, 'di ba, sa social media. 'Di ba? Ang social media literacy kasi, actually this takes so long to study. 'Di ba? Kailangan natin ng maraming sessions, 'di ba? Para maintindihan actually kung paano gumagana ang social media. Pero ngayon, 'di ba, ang ibibigay ko sa inyo na tips, ang ibibigay ko sa inyo na concepts is probably ito yung mga pinakakailangan nyo. Ito yung mga pinakakailangan nyo to jumpstart kung paano nyo maiintindihan kung paano gumana ang social media. So, always remember na we always have to look into social media as an audience and also as a creator ourselves. Now, ibabase natin yung discussion natin sa 5 concepts lang. Okay, 5 very important concepts na tutulong para sa inyo maintindihan kung paano gumagana ang social media. Ang concepts na ito ay based sa core concepts of media literacy ng Center for Media Literacy. Itong 5 bagay na to, para tong ito yung mga vlogs ng mga vloggers, di ba? Ito yung kunwari, kung ang vlogger, bago siya sa YouTube channel niya, ang gagawin niya, 24 truths about me, 24 facts about me. Sa media, parang ganito siya. Ito yung 5 facts about media na kailangan nating maintindihan, pero ilalagay natin siya sa context ng social media. Diba? Dahil itong 5 contexts na to, o 5 concepts na to, pwede siyang mai-apply sa kahit ano. Kunyari, manood kayo ng Netflix, pwede nyo siya i-apply. Manood kayo ng movie, pwede nyo siyang i-apply. Makinig kayo ng music, pwede rin nyo siya i-apply. Pero today, magfo-focus lang tayo sa lahat ng bagay tungkol sa social media. Okay? So, kung ready na kayo students, if you are ready to listen, ready to learn, pwede ba tayo magpa-heart reacts? While you listen, pwede ba tayo magpa-heart reacts? Pwede din hand finger heart lang, di ba? Sa mga naka-on cam, ayan, I'm seeing hearts. That's great. All right, let's start. Unang-una, okay, core concept number 1 na kailangan nating maintindihan about social media is that all media messages are constructed. Lahat ng messages sa social media ay gawa. Di ba? Ginawa siya. At kapag ginawa siya, ibig sabihin, may gumawa. Di ba? May tao behind it. Di ba? The social media posts that we see everywhere, kahit galing to sa friends natin, galing to sa family, galing to sa mga celebrities, probably galing siya sa mga brands. These are constructed. Gawa siya. May mga tao behind it. So ano yung mga important questions that we ask ourselves as we go through social media? Who created this message? Diba? Ano yung iba't ibang elements that make up the whole post? Kapag kunyari nakakita kayo ng post on social media, diba? Kunyari nakakita kayo ng post ng social media ng someone na nakapost sa may bintana, kunyari, aesthetic siya, maganda yung post niya, sinasabi niya, it's a good day, nakapost siya na ganyan. Ano yung nakikita niyong elements dun sa post? Diba? Anong choices yung ginawa? Diba? Nung person na ito, sa pag-post niya, yung angle ba? Is it a certain way? Yung mga kulay ba na pinili niya? Is it a certain way? Yung pag-post ba sa bintana? Is it a certain way? Diba? So dahil gawa ito ng tao, diba, napaka-importante dahil gawa siya ng tao, napakahalaga na maintindihan natin that yes, it is constructed, ibig sabihin may mga techniques na in-apply, di ba, para makita natin yung social media post na to. And pangalawa, may mga choices that were made. Di ba? Probably itong picture na nakikita natin sa social media, isa lang to sa probably 100 or 50 photos na tinake at pinili lang to para ito lang ang makita ng followers niya. Di ba ganun tayo? Kunwari magsa-selfie tayo, magpipicture tayo, ang daming text, di ba? Ang daming text. Pag dadamihan ko yung selfie ko, dadamihan ko yung pictures ito at pipili lang ako kung anong ipopost ko. Di ba? We have to also understand na lahat ng nakikita natin sa social media, they may look natural, di ba? They may look natural, pero they're not real. Di ba? Hindi sila totoo. They may look natural, but they're not always real. Anong ibig sabihin natin doon? Di ba? Na for example, makakita ka ng, kunyari, makita natin sa Instagram ang picture ni Liza Soberano. Di ba? Sobrang ganda ni Liza Soberano. Ang ganda ng picture. Nakangiti siya. Ganda ng balat niya. Ang ganda ng buhok niya. It looks natural. Pero it's not always 100% real. Kasi behind the camera, napakaraming ilaw, napakaraming taong involved. May mga taong nag-ayos ng buhok niya. May mga taong nag-makeup sa kanya. May mga taong nag-take ng picture, pinili yung angle niya. Nung nakunan na yung picture, someone edited it pa. Probably nagbura ng konting wrinkles. Diba? Probably nagbura ng konting pimples. And what we see, diba? In our phones, ang goal niya is magmukha siyang natural na hindi natin mahalata that it took a village to publish this content. 'di ba? So as an audience, 'di ba, dapat nating makita or maintindihan very first, 'di ba? Firstly, na all media messages are constructed. Lahat ito ay gawa. 'Di ba? Lahat sila ay carefully crafted, carefully constructed. At kayo din, 'di ba? As creators naman, 'di ba? As creators naman, we construct our own messages as well. 'Di ba, bago tayo mag-post ng profile picture, bago tayo mag-post ng tweet, for example, bago tayo mag-post ng picture natin sa Instagram, ang dami nating pinagdadaanan, 'di ba? Iba sa atin mag-edit pa, a-adjust yung brightness, a-adjust yung contrast, a-adjust yung saturation, lalagyan ng effects, lalagyan ng filter bago pa siya i-post. 'Di ba? So the questions that you can ask, 'di ba? Pwede natin itanong sa mga sarili natin, ano ba yung ginagawa ko? Bago ako mag-post, what am I creating? Anong mga technology ang gamit ko? iPhone ba yung gamit ko? iPad ba? Anong app naman yung gagamitin ko? And when I decide to create, tatanungin niyo yung sarili niyo, ano naman yung mga choices na pipiliin ko? Papuputiin ko ba yung sarili ko? Papapayatin ko ba yung sarili ko? Diba? Or do I keep myself natural? Buburahin ko lang yung konting blemishes. Buburahin ko lang yung konting details sa ganito. So right away, kung kanina tinitignan natin siya as an audience, di ba ngayon, as creators yourselves, nagko-construct din tayo ng message natin. Di ba sa Twitter, bago tayo mag-post ng tweet, ang dami nating pinopost na draft. Bago tayo mag-post sa Facebook, pinag-iisipan muna natin anong ita-type natin. Di ba? So this is particularly helpful not just for our students but also probably to the parents who are listening as well, 'di ba? Na ganito ang unang step usually ng mga tao pagdating sa social media, they try to construct, they try to create whatever they will post on social media. Now, second core concept natin. Okay? Ang pangalawa, ang media, 'di ba? Ang media messages na nakikita natin, all the posts that we see on social media, gumagamit to ng creative language na may sariling rules niya. Anong ibig sabihin natin doon? Of course, titingnan muna natin siya as an audience, okay? Ang ibig sabihin nito, iba't ibang media, 'di ba, gumagamit tayo ng TV, tama, gumagamit tayo ng internet. Sa internet, iba-iba pa yung nakikita natin. Meron sa TikTok, meron sa Twitter, meron sa Instagram, meron sa Facebook. Lahat ng ito, meron silang iba't ibang rules. 'Di ba? Iba't ibang probably unwritten rules na kung paano sila ipopost. 'Di ba? Probably sa ating mga pupils, sa ating mga students ngayon, kung meron kayong Facebook at meron kayong Twitter at meron kayong Instagram, iba ang mga pinopost nyo sa Facebook, iba ang mga pinopost sa Twitter, iba din ang mga pinopost sa Instagram, at iba-iba sila ng style. 'Di ba? Ay, pag sa TikTok dapat ganito siya, 'di ba? Hindi maganda mag-post sa TikTok ng ng pa-square na video, lahat 'yan laging pahaba. Sa Twitter naman, pwede naman mag-post lang ng square na video, okay na rin 'yan. 'Di ba? As audiences, titignan din natin. Kunyari nakakita tayo sa social media ng post ng flat lay. Itong nakikita nyo ngayon na example sa screen, yung nilalapag natin yung mga gamit sa sahig or sa magandang background, tapos i-fix natin sila, aayusin natin sila. That has its own rules. Di ba? May sarili siyang creative technique. Kapag kayo kakain, for example, di ba kakain kayo sa restaurant, bago kayo kumain, pinipicturean niyo yung mga pagkain nyo, inaayos niyo yung baso, inaayos niyo yung plato, inaayos niyo yung kutsara, tinidor, saka niyo pipicturean. Di ba? Meron kayong sariling creative language na ginagamit. Di ba? You get to dictate anong technique, di ba, ang inyong ina-apply. So ganun din sa mga posts, di ba? Pag nakakita tayo ng something na maganda on social media, we ask ourselves, ano yung mga technique na ginamit to catch my attention? Bakit ako napatingin dito? Di ba, dahil ba makulay siya? Dahil ba maganda yung angle ng Dahil ba maganda yung angle ng photo? Maganda ba yung music? Di ba? Ano yung una nating na-notice sa post? Or pag tinignan din natin yung post, ano yung story na kinakwento niya? Di ba? Ano yung sinasabi ng post? And sa nakikita natin, what makes it seem quote-unquote real? Anong nagpapamukha sa kanyang totoo siya? Di ba? So pag tinignan natin, ano kaya yung mga techniques na ginamit? Probably ginandahan yung kulay. Di ba? Probably yung nakaka-relate ako sa kinukwento nito. Or to make it seem real, di ba? Okay, ano siya, gumagamit siya ng everyday objects, hindi yung mga objects sa sobrang mamahalin. Di ba? Nakaka-relate ako dito. Okay, as creators naman, di ba? As creators, kapag kayo na gumagawa ng inyong post, yun nga sinabi natin, you follow a certain format, you follow a certain rule. Depende sa inyo yan kung ano yung maganda or acceptable para sa inyo. Pero you ask yourselves, yung post ko ba, napapakita niya yung galing ko at pagkaintindi ko sa creativity at sa technology? Diba? Bago tayo nagpo-post sa Facebook, sa Instagram, or sa Twitter, naiintindihan ko ba kung paano ba dapat mag-tweet sa Twitter? Naiintindihan ko ba yung paano dapat ang post sa TikTok? Diba? Anong techniques yung ginagamit ko? Diba? Or anong techniques yung nakuha ko from other people na ina-apply ko sa sarili kong post? Kunyari may nakita kayo yung TikTok na ang ganda ng music, ang ganda ng editing, am I also applying that to my own post? Diba, tinatry ko rin ba yun i-replicate? Tinatry ko rin ba siya ma-achieve? Yung message ko ba, yung post ko ba, does it seem real? Nag-post ako, kunyari nag-post kayo sa Instagram nyo ng inyong workplace, o kaya kung saan kayo nagko-computer or kung saan kayo nag-aaral, o papakita ko, ito yung aking computer, ito aking laptop, dito ako nag-aaral. Does it look real? O is it something na inayos ko? Diba? Is it something na pinaganda ko pa? Is it something na inilawan ko pa? In-adjust ko pa yung colors para mas maging maganda? Diba? So is it real? Does it look real? So ito yung mga questions na ina-ask natin o dapat natin i-ask ng mga sarili natin as creators, diba? Bago tayo mag-post ng something on social media. Pangatlo, okay? Different people, okay, experience the same message differently. Okay, ulitin natin. Different people experience the same message differently. Diba, lahat tayo, makabasa tayo ng isang tweet. For example, may nakita tayo sa Twitter. Sabi niya, so bored, so I got a new iPhone. #blessed. Diba? Lahat tayo pag nakita tong post na to, pare-pareho tayo ng nabasa na tweet, pero iba-iba tayo ng reaction dito. Diba? Pare-pareho tayo ng nabasang tweet, pero iba-iba tayo ng reaction. Probably some of us makikita, oy wow, sana all bored, sana all pag bored kumukuha ng iPhone. Yung iba naman probably magre-reply, uy, ang ganda naman ng phone mo, magkano bili mo, saan mo nakuha yan? Diba? Some naman probably magre-reply, uy, ang ganda naman ng phone. Or probably some people would react, ang yabang naman ito. Diba, ang yabang naman, pasimple pa, humble bragging, kunwari, pasimple lang, pero niyayabang niya lang talaga yung bago niyang phone. So, diba, pag tinignan natin, as audiences, diba, iba-iba tayo ng pag-intindi, diba, sa different posts na nakikita natin online. So, that's always one thing that we always have to ask ourselves. Diba? How might different people understand this social media post differently? Oftentimes, nakakalimutan natin that when we are on social media, the way we think about the post is not the only perspective there is. Diba? It's not the only perspective there is out there about what we have just seen. Kung napangitan tayo on something, hindi rin ibig sabihin na dapat lahat mapapangitan. May magagandahan sa nakita natin. Or probably tayo na-appreciate natin yung isang post na nakita natin on social media, it doesn't always mean that everybody else will like it. That's also the reason why tayo, ngayon, iba-iba tayo ng mga taong fina-follow on social media. Diba? Iba-iba kayo mga taong fina-follow, iba-iba kayo ng mga taong pinapanood sa YouTube, iba-iba kayo ng mga taong pinapanood sa TikTok because iba-iba tayo ng appreciation sa mga content na nakikita natin. Dapat nating maalala to, di ba? That all people have different interpretations ng mga content na nakikita natin online. Iba-iba tayo ng pag-intindi. Di ba? And it's not always just one size fits all, one message fits all. It doesn't work that way. Now, as creators, paano natin siya iisipin naman, kung tayo naman kunwari yung magpo-post on social media, kunyari may bago kayong phone, for example, di ba, may bago kayong phone, binili kayo ng parents nyo or nag-ipon kayo, nakaipon kayo at gusto niyo siyang i-post sa social media at tinipe mo, so bored, so I got a new phone. Before clicking the button na send or post, ask yourself, oops, may typo, is my post engaging and compelling? Diba? Is this post going to engage with my followers? Ibig sabihin, mag-i-interact ba sila dito? Magre-react ba sila dito? Or is that what I want? Gusto ko ba na mag-react yung followers ko? Yung family ko sa post ko? Diba? Sino ba yung target audience ng post ko? Pag sinabi nating target audience, para kanino ko ba ito pinopost? Para ba ito sa lahat talaga? Or may gusto lang ba akong paringgan? May gusto lang ba akong i-impress? Diba? Am I posting this because I want to impress someone? Diba? Sino? Sino yon? Diba? Am I posting this just to show my classmates na maganda yung phone ko? Diba? Or am I just posting this for myself because I'm happy? Diba? Or kapag naman nag-post ako na may bago akong phone pero hindi ko sasabihin na bili siya sa akin ng parents ko, sabi ko lang, I got a new phone. Paano to i-interpret ng ibang tao? Pag kunyari nag-post ako ng ganito, so bored, so I got a new phone. Paano kaya to iisipin ng audience ko? Ano kaya sasabihin ng followers ko about my post? Diba? Ila-like ba nila to? Magagalit ba sila? Pagchichismisan ba nila ako? So, these are the things that we have to think about before we post. Diba? Dahil nga naiintindihan natin that all people have different ways of understanding the posts that we send out online. Isipin nating maigi. Diba? Isipin nating maigi kung paano ba siya possibly may interpret kasi it's our responsibility kapag ito ay na-interpret negatively. Diba? Responsibility natin siya kapag nagkaroon siya ng negative na effect sa mga tao. Diba? So that's one thing that we have to be careful about. Diba? Bago tayo mag-post on social media, whatever it is, kahit hindi to iPhone, diba? Isipin natin paano kaya to i-interpret ng ibang tao? Paano kaya siya maiintindihan ng ibang tao? Magigets ba nilang gusto kong sabihin? Mati-take out of context ba ako? Diba? Mami-misinterpret ba nila yung gusto kong sabihin? Or when I post this, am I posting my message clearly? Diba? So as creators, this is one thing that we have to be conscious about. Okay? Pang-apat. Okay? Pang-apat na core concept. Diba? Punta tayo sa lens naman ulit ng audience. Media have embedded values and points of view. Diba? Lahat ng nakikita natin sa social media, diba, may nakapaloob siyang values at points of view. May napupulot tayo from it, whatever it is. Meron siyang concepts or topics or meron siyang insights na ibabaon niya sa isip natin. Diba, whatever it is, kahit simpleng post ito ng friend natin o post ito ng celebrity o may nakita tayong ad, meron siyang effect sa atin one way or another. Diba? So as audiences, you ask yourself, oops, mali yung question. Okay, may error lang sa slides, pero ito as audience pa rin ha. What values or lifestyles yung pine-present nitong post na to? Diba? Ano yung nakikita natin na ano yung values na nakikita natin? So for example, nagsa-scroll tayo sa Twitter. Syempre tayo, wala naman tayo ngayong control masyado sa kung ano nakikita natin sa Twitter. Kasi kunyari sa Twitter, kung meron na kayong Twitter, minsan nire-recommend sa inyo ang posts ng mga taong hindi nyo naman fina-follow. Diba? Minsan lumalabas dun yung mga posts na nila-like ng ibang tao, not necessarily that you follow them. Tapos kunwari nakakita kayo, Friday night is drinking night. Kunwari. Tapos makikita kayo, may picture ng friends na nag-iinuman sila. Diba? Anong values yung pinapakita nito? Diba? Anong values anong values yung nakikita natin dun sa sa picture or sa post, 'di ba? What ideas or values are being communicated, or what type of audience or person ay yung gusto nitong ma-attract. 'Di ba? So pag nakakita kayo ng social media post, for example, sa Twitter, nakakita kayo ng post ng isang celebrity, tapos ang ganda-ganda niya. Ano yung impression na naiiwan sa inyo? 'Di ba? Ano yung impression na naiiwan sa inyo? Do you feel, kunyari, sino pa bang celebrity? Kunyari, may nakita kayong K-drama star na nag-post ng selfie niya. 'Di ba? Tapos, or K-pop star na nag-post ng selfie niya, tapos nakita niyo siya on Twitter. Ano yung naiiwan niyang impression sa inyo? Do you feel good about yourself? 'Di ba? Kapag nakita niyo ba yung social media post niya, do you ask yourself, okay, bakit hindi kasing kinis ng skin ko yung skin niya? May ganun ba siyang naiiwan sa inyo? Or is it, pag nakakakita kayo ng ganun, ang nararamdaman niyo, nai-empower ba kayo? Ay, gusto kong maging kasing ganda niya. Gusto ko din maging kasing ganito ka-confident. 'Di ba? So, iba-iba siya eh. 'Di ba? Depende siya sa kung paano natin i-extract or paano natin pipigain yung post sa kung ano yung gusto nitong sabihin sa atin. 'Di ba? Ano ba yung nakikita natin dito? Ano yung values na nakikita natin? Anong ideas yung nakukuha natin from the posts that we see? Okay? And as creators, 'di ba? As creators, we ask ourselves din kapag tayo na yung nag-post. 'Di ba? Kapag nag-post ako ng something online, ano ba yung gusto kong makita ng mga tao? May napapakita ko ba sa kanila yung exactly kung gusto kong sabihin? 'Di ba? Am I able to communicate whatever I want to communicate to my audience? Is it giving a certain perspective? Is it conveying real life? If not, why or how? 'Di ba? So, yung mga pinapakita natin sa social media, 'di ba, tayo as creators, may napupulot na personality or insight ang mga tao tungkol sa atin. So, 'di ba? So, whatever you try to post online, kunyari, meron kayong Twitter na stan account, however you type, however you post, whatever you retweet, whatever you like, there's a certain value or point of view na napapakita dito. Kaya, 'di ba, for example, may fina-follow kayo na friend nyo, may certain personality yung posts ng mga tao. Punta kayo sa profile ng isang friend nyo. Basahin niyo yung tweets niya. Tingnan niyo yung posts niya. Di ba parang may personality na lumalabas? That's how it works. Di ba meron tayong napipiga from it? Meron tayong nakukuha from it. Anong personality nakikita ko? Anong klaseng tao yung nakikita ko? Anong lifestyle yung nakikita ko sa fina-follow ko na to? Di ba? So, napakahalaga niyan, 'di ba? Napakahalaga na maintindihan natin 'yan. Ang ating last na core concept, 'di ba, sa social media literacy. Lahat o karamihan sa nakikita natin sa social media ay nandyan to gain profit or power. 'Di ba? Karamihan, hindi natin sinasabi na lahat, pero karamihan nang nakikita natin sa social media ngayon, lalo na ngayon, ay nandyan para kumita ng pera o mag-gain ng certain sense of power over us or over their followers. Anong ibig sabihin natin doon? We also look at the purpose. Bakit kaya to pinost? Diba, pag pumunta tayo, for example, sa Instagram, tapos may nakita tayong social media influencer na bago lahat ng damit niya, bago lahat ng gadget niya, nakapost siya, aesthetic, it's a look, ang ganda ng suot, ang gwapo niya, lahat ng yan. You ask yourself, bakit kaya niya to pinost? At bakit may mga nakatag na brand? Diba? Probably sponsored siya o ibig sabihin, may nagbayad sa kanya para mag-post nito. Binigyan siya ng mga libreng damit para i-post niya to. Diba? So you ask yourself, diba, why did they post it? How do you know? Paano mo nalaman? Kasi may pinopromote siya sa post niya. Sinabi niya 50% off. Use my promo code. Diba? So it's always important for us audiences to understand the purpose, diba? Or try to understand the purpose of the social media posts that we see online. Di ba? We try to decode, we try to understand kung ano yung reason bakit ko to nakikita ngayon. 'Di ba? So marami sa social media ngayon na nakikita nyo, 'di ba? Ay either nandyan sila dahil binayaran sila or because they want to have some sort of power. What do we mean naman by power? Probably power in a sense na gusto niya sumikat. Pinost niya to dahil gusto niya sumikat. Have so many followers. Pinost niya to para makapagpapansin. Pinost niya to para pansinin mo siya exactly. Kaya di ba minsan yung mga pranks, lagi tayo napapaklik dyan eh. Di ba sa social media, kunyari may videos or posts about pranks, lagi tayo napapaklik dyan. Bakit kaya ako napaklik dito sa video ng prank na ito? Di ba? At bakit kaya prank ang ginawa nila? Kasi ito yung mas madaling way na makakuha ng audiences dahil lahat natatawa dito, lahat gusto makita ang reaction. So in a way, it's to gain power. Diba? Para magkaroon siya ng followers. And thus, dami ang followers niya, dadami din yung pera. Diba? Marami na ngayon sa social media, kumikita sila ng pera sa mga posts nila. Diba? Nakikita natin, may mga social media personalities, yung mayaman. Diba? Yung mayaman sa social media, all because of the things that they post. So titingnan din natin, aside from profit or power, bakit kaya ito nandito ngayon sa harap ko? Is it to influence me? Is it for me to change my mind over something? Is it because someone wants to influence the way I think about something? Diba? So when we look at social media, it's very important to understand, diba, yung purpose or try to look into the purpose of why certain social media posts are posted, diba? Or being sent out. Is it for profit or is it for power? Kung tayo naman, for example, yung creator, diba? Isipin niyo muna, ano bang purpose ko? Bakit ko siya ipopost? Diba? Bakit ko siya ipopost? For sure, sa karamihan sa atin ngayon, because you're still in school, hindi pa possible yung to gain profit, di ba? Hindi pa possible yun. Or probably pwede siyang possible kasi magpo-post ako na maganda sa Instagram ko palagi para baka may makapansin sa aking brand, para magpadalhan din ako ng mga libreng damit, libreng pagkain. May mga ganon, di ba? Gusto ko maging social media influencer para kumita ako ng pera. Gusto ko mag-vlog kasi nakita ko kasi favorite kong vlogger, grabe nagkaroon na siya ng bahay dahil lang sa pag-YouTube niya. Gusto ko din maging streamer kasi yung favorite kong streamer dati nag-start lang siya na wala naman siyang mga magagandang gadget pero nung yumaman siya dahil sa pag-stream niya, nagawa niya lahat. So we think about our own posts as well. Diba? Pag magpo-post ako, ano ba yung purpose ko? Diba? Is it just to express? Diba? Is it really just to express myself? Or am I doing this to gain some sort of profit o kita? Or power. Diba? Ano ba yung intent ko sa post ko? Kapag nag-post ako, na nag-shopping ako, for example, nag-post ako that I went on shopping with my parents or my friends, ano ba yung gusto kong maramdaman ng followers ko? Anong gusto kong maramdaman nila? Ano bang gusto kong isipin nila? Ano bang gusto kong gawin nila after nila makita yung post ko? Gusto ko bang mainggit sila sa akin? O gusto ko ba silang ma-inspire? Diba? Anong gusto kong maisipin nila? Gusto ko bang isipin nila na wow, ang dami naman niyang pera? Or gusto niyo bang isipin na wow, blessed siya, masipag siya, kaya niya nagagawa to? Or ano naman ang gusto natin gawin ng followers natin when they see our social media posts? Gusto ba nating i-share nila to? Gusto ba natin, ipinopost lang ba natin to because we want to be liked? Or are we posting because we just want to express? Diba? So these are questions that we have to ask ourselves. Diba? Before we click that send button, ano ba yung purpose ko? Diba? Ano yung gusto kong mangyari sa audiences ko when I do this? Anong gusto kong isipin nila? Anong gusto kong maramdaman nila? Or ano bang gusto kong gawin nila after they see my post? And ultimately, we ask ourselves, Kapag nag-post ako, for example, for example, sa Twitter naman, nag-post ako ng opinion ko over something. Pag nag-post ako, who wins, who loses, and who gets to decide? Anong ibig sabihin nito? Nag-post ka ng opinion mo on Twitter dahil, for example, may nakita kang nag-aaway on social media, may nakita ka nagtatalo on social media, may nakikita ka nagtatalo, for example, sa comment section. If I reply, if I comment, if I post, sinong mananalo? Sinong matatalo? Kapag ba nag-reply ako yung panalo? Kasi kapag nag-reply ba ako yung panalo kasi I get to send my point? Kasi matatalo ko yung sinabi niyang message? Or will I lose kasi pumatol ako? Ako ba yung talo kasi pinansin ko siya? Or iisipin din natin who decides? Yung audience ba yung magde-decide doon? Yung mga makakakita ba ng comment ko, ng reply ko? Sila ba yung magde-decide kung sino sa amin yung talo? Diba? So we have to be careful on the purpose of why we do the things that we do on social media. Diba? Whenever we post something, we always ask ourselves, diba? Aside from who wins, who loses, who decides, what do I get from this? Diba? How will it affect me after I post it? Diba? So these are all questions, that we ask ourselves. Questions that we ask ourselves before we interact with our social media, with social media, dahil na naiintindihan natin, diba, that lahat tayo, dalawa ang role natin sa social media. We get to be audiences and creators together. Diba? Ang dami, napakadaming tanong, napakadaming things to consider. Pero ganun talaga. Diba? Ganun talaga. We have to consider all these things before we actually post online. Kaya nga ang title ng talk natin ngayon, I think before you click. Mas madali mag-click. Totoo lang, napakadaling mag-click lang. Minsan hindi na tayo nag-iisip before we post anything. Diba? Napakadaling mag-post lang ng click before we consider the effects of the social media posts that we do. Diba? It's a lot easier to do. It's a lot easier to take. Kasi anyway, hindi ko naman kailangan na mag-think. Kasi if I click, kapag ayoko, I can delete it. We can't be completely sure about that. Yes, there's a delete button, but what if somebody screenshots it already? What if somebody saves it already? Kunyari nag-post ka ng something na hindi makakabuti sa'yo. Diba? What if nang-bash ka? What if may inaway ka? What if may siniraan ka online? Yes, you may be able to delete it, but what if somebody has already saved it? Diba? So we have to always consider these things. Napakaraming question, dinaanan natin, di ba? In the span of probably 10 slides. Ang daming questions na nakita nyo, ang daming things to consider, yes. Because yung power ngayon ng social media is a lot more than just getting likes. It's a lot more than just getting hearts. We have to consider that whatever we post online affects people nowadays. The same way na kapag nakakita kayo ng post on social media, you get happy about it, you get sad about it, you get angry about it. Di ba? May nararamdaman tayo eh. We are humans after all. Di ba? So it's not just about the numbers anymore. It's not just about climbing the ladder na I get more followers than someone else. Hindi na lang siya ganon. Diba? Hindi na lang dapat siya all about, oh, I want to impress people. I want to, gusto ko magyabang. Or whatever I post, ako lang ang tama. Diba? We have to always consider that behind the gadgets that we use are people as well. Human beings with emotions, human beings who are able to think, human beings that have feelings that can be affected by the things that we put out there. Kaya ganun ka-importante yung thinking before we click. Diba? By thinking, we ask all of these questions that we have so that ang goal natin, magkaroon tayo ng healthy na gamit ng social media. Diba? As you grow up, students, as you grow up, mas lalalim pa yung paggamit nyo ng social media. Diba? Mas lalalim pa siya. It will more than just be about games. It will be more than just be about posting your things online. Makikita nyo as you grow up na napakalaki lalo ng role ng social media sa mga buhay natin. Sa mga buhay natin as ordinary individuals living in this world. Na makikita nyo as you grow up, di ba? Na ang gamit natin ng social media kayang bumago ng buhay ng bawat isa. Di ba? So you always have to think before you click. You always have to think before you send that post. You always have to think about your safety, about your happiness. You have to think about what your parents would feel, how you would feel, what your followers would feel, how your classmates would feel, how your coworkers would feel if you post a certain thing on social media. Diba? And even then, hindi lang siya sa pagpo-post lang. We have to always think before we actually consider the things that we are seeing on social media. Diba? Hindi lang kasi tayo nagpo-post lang, nagbabasa din tayo. So aside from thinking before you click on sending, we also have to think before clicking the next post that we will like. All of these questions, di ba, kinonsider natin ng perspective ng pagiging audience at pagiging someone na nag-create. Kasi as audiences, di ba, nakaka-absorb din tayo. May napupulot tayo on social media. So we have to be careful on clicking that follow button. We have to be careful on clicking that like button. We have to be careful on clicking that retweet or repost button because we don't know what kinds of what kind of effects that it will have on people. Bago ako mag-follow sa certain person na ito, may inspire niya ba ako? O masisira ang pag-aaral ko dahil sa kanya? Before I click like, do I really like this? Do I really support this? Before I send that reaction on social media, di ba? Before I send that reaction on social media, do I really feel that way about that post? So napakahalaga to think before you click. Okay, students and all of the people here sa Zoom, napakaraming questions, napakaraming things to consider, but that's how social media works. And with that, thank you so much, and I hope may natutunan kayo, and I hope that you consider asking these questions as you interact with social media from here on. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Sir Ephraim, for that very insightful sharing. So think before you click. Very powerful words. I think everyone was able to get some insights about what Sir Ephraim was able to share. How about you, Ms. Kia? I know Ms. Kia was very intently watching the talk a while ago. So Ms. Kia, do you have any anything that struck a chord with you regarding the sharing that Sir Ephraim did a while ago?
Okay, thank you, Sir George, and thank you, Sir Ephraim, for that very fruitful session you had with our students this morning. So a while ago, Sir George, I was able to just take that information na we really have to take on the consequences of whatever we post online, because we might not know, other people who are just merely viewing our post can have different interpretations, and that would affect definitely our values, our personality on the view of other people. So my dear students, now that we're all online, syempre, not only in school, we implement our values, our manners, and our morals, but most importantly also even in our cyber self. So that's for me, Sir George. How about you?
Well, aside from that, Miss Kia, I also really agree with you need to really be careful about the things that you post online because our words really do mean a lot. They can have the power to really influence other people. So it's really important for us to be very careful about the things that we post and that we share online. So thank you for sharing that, Miss Kia. Okay, so to present the certificate for Mr. Ephraim, let us introduce Miss Mrs. Kathleen Buelo, the guidance counselor from the Pleasant Mount School, to present Sir Ephraim with the certificate. So, Miss
Good
Buelo.
morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning po. So I would like to have a short words of gratitude. So good morning everyone. In behalf of the Pleasant Mount School Administration, I would like to thank our very able speaker, Sir Ephraim Fernandez, to the UST Senior High School faculty and working committee, and also to the PMS PTHT working committee spearheaded by our very efficacious PTHT President, Ma'am Arlene Alferos, for having this very timely and relevant collaborative learning we have this morning. And also to all the Pleasantinites who's here today, thank you for giving your time this weekend. And lastly, we offer the success to our Lord for giving us guidance and sound mind in attending this session. Thank you all and happy weekend. And with that, I would like to present this certificate of recognition. The Pleasant Mount School and the Parents Teacher Homeroom team cordially award the certificate of recognition to Mr. Ephraim Fernandez for his outstanding contribution as a resource speaker during this community advocacy webinar on Isip Usap, webinars for teenagers. Think before you click, social media literacy. Given this 12th day of March 2022, signed by our principal, Mr. Elmerante M. Sadicon, and our officer in charge, Mr. Gustav C. Sanggalang. Thank you po, sir.
Thank you very much, Miss, and congratulations, Sir Ephraim. So,
Congratulations po.
thank you. Okay,
Thank you so much,
so
Ma'am Buelo, and thank you, Sir Ephraim. Yan po.
Miss
Thank
Kia,
you. Thank you
we
po.
have another activity.
Yes, Sir George. So after our discussion with our media and information literacy, now, my dear students, this is the next part that you're waiting for. We'll now have again another game. And syempre, we will just be reminding our students, no, sir, that other than enjoying our games, we also have prizes in store for you. And so, Sir George, let's welcome Miss Lynette Febrero from the Media and Information Literacy Learning Area to facilitate our game. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Kim and Sir George. Ayan. So, am I audible po?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am, you
ma'am.
are.
Okay. So, magandang umaga po ulit sa ating lahat. Magandang umaga po kay Principal Elmer, to my other co-faculty members and faculty members of Pleasant Mount School. At syempre sa ating Pleasantinites, kung gising pa at buhay na buhay pa or energetic pa, please give heart react po sa ating Zoom. Heart react naman dyan, Pleasantinites. Ayan. So, ready na ba kayong manalo ng skin ng Valorant? Hindi, joke lang. Well, hindi natin afford ang skin ng heroes or agents sa Valorant at sa ML. So, we will have another game. This will be our last activity for this webinar. It's titled Up, Up, and Away. So, hindi away ha. Away po ito. Kasi, part din ng netiquette in terms of social media ay hindi tayo dapat nakikipagbardagulan sa Twitter or sa Facebook or sa kahit na anong social media app. And just like what Mr. Ephraim mentioned a while ago, yung importansya ng think before you click. But most importantly, gaano ba natin kaalam talaga yung mga social media apps na ginagamit natin? So yun po yung magiging game natin for this particular session. Ayan. So, please wait lang po. Let me share. Ayan. Okay, so is it visible on your end?
Okay na po, ma'am.
Okay, sige po. Alright, so ang title po ng ating game ay Up, Up, and Away. Simple lang ang ating game mechanics. All you need to do is guess the social media application or website. And please wait for my go signal. Ayan. So, please also make sure na sa akin yung i-chat kasi I'm host of this webinar. So, hindi makikita ng iba nating participants yung hindi ko makikita kapag nakaset into everyone. So, try lang natin sample lang natin. Ano yung kinikrave nyong ulam ngayong pananghalian? So, please chat sa ating chat box. Please make sure na naka-address yon sa SHS Febrero Lenet. Ayan, try nga natin. Ipahata, sinigang, halo-halo, adobong manok, sisig, gusto ko din yan. Sinangag, kare-kare, sisig, medium rare. Ayan, pasosyal na ng pasosyal ang ating Sige, don't worry. Papaluto tayo sa inyong parents. Ayan, so please wait for my go signal. The first participant to post the correct answer on our chat box ay mananalo ng tumataginting na 300 peso GCash. Pero syempre bago nyo makuha yung 300 peso GCash na to, meron lang din akong konting follow-up question participant na nauna. So you can either type your answer on the chat box or you may also unmute. So depends on you. Kung ano yung working, kung working yung audio nyo or you're comfortable using the chat box. Okay? So let's begin. Our first social media app is like a one-stop shop. Okay? So please wait for my go signal. Go! Ayan. So we have here Denise. Si Denise ang nauna dun sa line. Ayan. So tanungin natin si Denise, gaano ka katagal gumamit ng Facebook? Denise Ganayo. Ilang beses? Barely na po. Okay. At pinaka-importante din na lagi nating isipin yung time consumption natin when it comes to Facebook. Although it's already undeniable that we rely to Facebook and Messenger, lalo na kapag meron kayong group project, di ba, among your schoolmates or yung classmates ninyo, dito na rin kayo madalas nag-uusap ng project ninyo. And then, one advantage of Facebook is that meron siyang marketplace, meron siyang pang-shopping, and at the same time, platform for live streamers and aspiring professional players out there. Pero the disadvantage is that marami na ring ads sa Facebook. At kung mapapansin nyo, kung ano yung sinearch nyo on Google, let's say nag-search lang kayo ng anything about vacuum or parang soap or lotion, ang lalabas na din ng mga ads sa Facebook nyo will be related to your latest search engine. And there's also a tendency na maraming gumagawa ng fake accounts sa Facebook at sila din yung nagpapalaganap ng false information. Ayan. So thank you very much for joining, Denise. The 300 pesos will be sent to your GCash. Bigay na lang natin kay Ma'am Arlene. Ayan, so for school na lang daw niya ginagamit yung Facebook. Alright, let's proceed to our next. Just to give you another trivia about Facebook, nung early quarter ng January, this year lang, meron na tayong 83.85 million Facebook users sa Pilipinas. At pumapangalawa ang Messenger na merong 55.15 million users. So ganun na karami ang gumagamit ng Facebook. And still, it's the top social media app in the Philippines. Okay, next. Pros is that it's free. It's an opportunity to earn money para sa mga aspiring vloggers dyan or content creators. Disadvantage is that if you want to download a specific video, you need to subscribe sa premium. And ang nauna ay si Jake Sayosa. So Jake, follow-up question para sa'yo. Nanonood ka ba madalas ng YouTube at meron ka bang specific favorite na YouTuber or content creator? As si Mr. Beast. Ayan. So gusto mo din ba ng mga ganong klaseng content or bakit ka na-amaze kay Mr. Beast? What's something about him that makes you want to watch more about Mr. Beast. Lalo na yung namimigay siya ng mga malalaking prizes. Doon, hindi lang 300 peso Gcash ang kaya niyang ibigay. Ayan, according to Jake, tumutulong po sa mga taong nangangailangan. So thank you very much, Jake, and it's nice to know that alam mo yung dahilan kung bakit tayo nanonood ng specific YouTuber or content sa iba't ibang social media platforms, particularly YouTube. So to give you an additional trivia, alam nyo ba na bawal ang age 13 years old to create their own channel or account unless merong parental consent or under siya ng YouTube Kids. That's why kung meron kayong younger sister or brother, please make sure na ang pinapanood lang nila ay Coco Melon or Peppa Pig. Okay? At lagi niyo din iisipin na wag tayo mandadaya ng edad when it comes to accessing social media apps, particularly YouTube. All right, so let's proceed to our next social media app na malamang alam na alam nyo na ito. Okay, so ang app na to ay 3 years old pa lang, pero nag-boom na siya kagad during the ECQ. Ayan. It's entertaining, it's a creative outlet wherein you can know the latest dance song like Paru Paru G or yung Savage Love, diba? Dito siya unang nakilala. Ayan, na-flood na po ako. Sige, hanapin natin ang unang sumagot sa TikTok. But the disadvantage is that meron siyang, once na you posted it on public, meron ding mga negative comments dyan. So, related dun sa first reason, disadvantage, is that it can also harm a teenager's self-esteem. But my dear students, my dear Plasanites, please always remember that the number of likes, the number of followers will never define your self-worth. So, okay lang kahit konti lang yung nagla-like ng post ninyo or viewers ninyo. As long as you're still doing what is right and what you think is right, diba? Okay. So, ayan. So, ang nauna po ay si Marishka. Ayan. So, Marishka, follow-up question. Nagpo-post ka na rin ba sa TikTok? And what is the latest trend that you know about TikTok? Ayan, opo. So, isa na siyang certified TikTokers. Ayan. Ano yung mga usual trends na natatandaan mo na nag-boom sa TikTok? Marishka, to get the 300 peso Gcash. Yung acting challenges. Okay. So, trivia about TikTok. It actually removed nearly 7.3 million accounts that is suspected to be underage children. Although based on my experience, a lot of young students and even underage children are still accessing and posting on TikTok. So lagi nating isipin or lagi din natin dapat isaalang-alang yung adults, yung kuya, ate, and teachers natin. So, we can always ask them for advice. Okay lang po ba na mag-post ng ganito? Okay lang po ba na ma-access ko yung ganitong klaseng video? And lagi niyo ding iisipin yung privacy when it comes to posting on different social media apps, particularly TikTok and YouTube. Lalo na yung mga gumagawa ng house tour, di ba? So, may tendency na yung iba, nagsasayaw lang ang background, yung bahay nila, yung kwarto nila, pero merong mga cyber criminals that they can actually use that specific or small details about you na nakikita sa background ng video mo, and they can do something about it. They can do something bad about it. So, pinaka-importante pa rin, yung iset natin yung privacy settings natin palagi. Okay, next. Ayan, so medyo mahaba-haba siya. It is free to download, free to play, source of entertainment and income na din to. But the downside is that maraming trash talker dito na sometimes it can also lead to cyberbullying and harassment. Ayan, so meron nang nauna dito. We have Ayan, sorry na flood kasi. Si Joanna. Joanna. Ayan. So Joanna, follow-up question, Joanna. What do you think is the reason kung bakit mayroong mga trash talk na nangyayari sa mobile games like Mobile Legends? What do you think is the reason? Bakit mayroong mga trash talker dyan or mga strangers na nagsasabi na, hindi ka naman magaling eh, Angela lang ang alam mo. Okay, competitive yung ibang players, very good. And Luis also mentioned, you're feeding to the enemy. So parang game tactics siya. But my dear students, if you're into trash talking, again, please limit it. If close naman kayo, okay lang, alam niyo na hindi kayo nagkakapikunan. But if you're playing with other strangers, please make sure na you also respect them as a player, as a human being. Okay, so additional trivia about Mobile Legends is that meron nang tayong tinatawag na MPL and it's still ongoing. So sa mga nanonood dyan sa YouTube, perhaps you already know about this. And yung MPL ngayon will be a competition among Southeast Asian countries, including the Philippines, and it will serve as the qualifier for the Mobile Legends World Championship. So gone are the days na ang tingin sa gamers ay hindi sila makakagraduate or parang batugan lang, lazy, they're not good with their studies. Tapos na tayo sa negative stereotype na yon. Ngayon, there are a lot of shoutcasters out there and professional esports player na talaga naman naging successful sa gaming industry. So sige nga, this is just a question for everyone. Titingnan lang natin kung kilala ninyo. Anong esports team ng Mobile Legends yung nanalo last December sa Mobile Legends World Championships? Ayan, so si Luis din yung nagsabi, and Justin and Stephanie, correct? It's the Blacklist International. Alright. Next, last na po tayo. Ayan. Yung advantages ng website na to is also the disadvantages. Maramang nakikita nyo to sa mga streamers and content creators na ginagamit to as content material. Okay, so ang nauna sa akin ay ayan, si JSMN. Can I have your real name, please? Or your nickname? Di yata full ang kanyang name yan. Ayan, si Jasmine. And plus your surname na din para ma-indicate natin sa winners. Okay? Ayan, so let's ask Jasmine. Saan mo madalas nakikita yung Omegle? Correct, ito yung Omegle. If you're familiar with Omegle, so saan natin siya madalas na nakikita or napapanood, Jasmine? Sa YouTube. Okay. So, additional trivia, did you know that then 18-year-old Leaf K. Brooks was actually the one who launched Omegle? Tapos, naging popular lang siya ulit dahil sa global pandemic. Ang danger ng website na to, it does not have age verification or restriction for young users like you, 17 and below. So, anyone can register and anyone can actually access this website even without parental consent. So again, my dear Plasanites, lagi nating iisipin kung wala kayong kasamang adult in accessing this kind of website, it's better na wag niyo na siyang i-access. Okay? Dahil unlike YouTube and other social media platforms that I mentioned a while ago, merong age verification. Pero itong Ome, wala. Alright, so I hope you also learned something new and at least you realize your social media consumption dahil ito yung madalas nagagamit natin in for everyday usage. Okay, so thank you for joining Plasanites and bahala na po sana all may 300. Ayan, so gamitin po ng tama ang ating 300 kung ano man yung gusto nyong bilhin. So thank you everyone. Back to you na po, Ma'am Kia and Sir George.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Lunette, for that very fun activity. I hope that everyone had fun, and for those who won, congratulations. Okay, so Miss Kia.
So, Sir George, at this point, so again, thank you for our two very enthusiastic speakers for this morning, Ma'am Aura and Sir Ephraim, for giving us those information. And Sir George, I think some of our students would also have some questions. A while ago, we are already receiving questions from the students. So, my dear students, if you have questions, even for our faculty members, for our parents, if you have questions for Ma'am Au or Sir Ephraim, you may send us a message. It can be directed to Sir George, or you can send it also to me so we can read it and our speakers would be very honored to answer your questions. Sige po, on our chat box, please do send us your messages so we can read it for them. Sige po. Sir George, a while ago while the others are thinking, I see that we already received some queries, right po?
Yes, yes, Miss Kia. The children were already given some queries, and I think most of them are very interesting. So, Miss Kia, do you have one to ask either Miss Au or Sir Ephraim?
Sige po, Sir George. The first question po, a while ago, Ma'am Au. Hi, ma'am.
Hi po.
Ayan po. Ma'am, a while ago, we received a question from one of our students. So the question, ma'am, goes like this. Ma'am, is it possible to develop love even online?
Napakahirap na. Ano? Who are we to judge? Okay. Basically, there are two parts of my answer. Wow. Una, siguro something that has something to do with what is well researched on and something that is practically what's really going on. Alam naman natin, no, that hindi naman pa na-research lahat-lahat when we talk about love and relationships. But technically, they say that pwede ba nga ba tayong ma-in love pang online? Ang sabi lang naman, or what is well researched of, is that we cannot really feel something about someone if we don't get to know them, okay? Or we don't know them that much. So siguro depende yun sa depth or gaano mo makilala yung tao. But syempre, no, nothing beats pa rin the personal or the face-to-face connection. But I think at the end of the day, again, who are we to judge, no? Kasi ano yung what we can feel about this story. Ang masabi ko lang, yes, it's possible. Yes, I know it can also be possible. Okay, so yes and no siya. Siguro, what we can look into it is more on the quality of disclosure and the quality of the details or how we know this person. And syempre yung lalim, no? Again, nothing beats the face-to-face interaction with the person. Pero syempre, kailangan din natin may ingat kasi as Sir Ephraim said a while ago, marami tayong hindi nakikita, no? When it comes to online. Pwede tayong mag-deceive. We are not wise enough to get to know some of this. Yun lang po.
Thank you very much for that, Ma'am Au. I have another question here for Sir Ephraim. Sir Ephraim, are you here?
Yes po.
Sir Ephraim, so here's a question. So given the audience, 13 issues, right? So they're all very young. Can you give them some advice on how to use social media responsibly or productively given their age?
Sorry, sir, pakiulit yung question.
How can they use social media in a productive way given their age?
All right, so how can they use social media in a productive way? I think it all boils down to what apps they use. Diba? It all boils down to what apps they use, or sa parents natin, what apps we allow our children to use. So usually, diba, we tend to have parang key apps to use. Meron lagi tayong Twitter, meron lagi tayong Facebook, meron tayo laging Instagram. In choosing the proper apps, we are also able to curate somehow, diba? We are also able to curate somehow kung ano magiging experience ng children natin on social media. But aside from that, diba, in using social media, aside from the apps pa, we also have to be conscious about the things that we follow or like. 'Di ba? Are we going to be following pages na will help us be more productive? Will be more informative ba siya? Will be more helpful? Or are we going to be following personalities or pages that are more towards on entertainment? 'Di ba? So it's a combination of the proper apps, the proper people you follow, the proper content that you consume, 'di ba? And also maintaining a healthy screen time. 'Di ba? Yung screen time natin nahati pa yan sa iba-ibang aspects. Pag gumamit ba tayo ng phone or ng gadgets natin, is it for entertainment? Is it for connectivity o yung pakikipag-chat ba siya? Or is it for productivity? Kunyari, gumagawa tayo ng homeworks, nagre-research tayo. So keeping a healthy balance sa iba't ibang bagay na to, healthy balance when it comes to time, when it comes to our usage, the apps that we use, the people that we follow, yung exposure natin sa kanila. I think in that way, we can be more productive and we can be more healthy. Diba? Our relationship with social media can be more healthy. Yes.
Thank you very much for that, Sir Ephraim. We have another question here for Miss Au. Miss Au, are you here?
Yes, sir. Hello
Okay.
po.
So, Miss Au, may question po nung bata. Ang tanong po niya, Miss Au, okay lang ba po ang babae ang mag-first move or ang babae po ang una magsabi na gusto niya isang guy or isang tao?
Why not? Okay, I would just like to clarify this. First of all po, I think that question was prompted because there is a move towards women empowerment, okay, this past few years. And we are very happy that we are celebrating it. I think the answer to that question is wala namang masama, okay? If we will be the ones who will be telling guys that we like them, we will be the ones who make the first move. It's just that it will really depend on a person's, again, preference. Ikaw ba yun? Kasi di ba, there's a difference between yes, pwede mong gawin, and kung hindi ikaw yun as a person. There are some women or girls who can do that because of their personality, but there are some girls who cannot do that. Kasi depende rin yun kung kaya mong gawin. It's not, actually, hindi lang sa kaya eh. Kung ikaw ba yun as a person. Now, I think the more underlying topic here would be how will the society take it? Kasi first and foremost, okay, yes talaga yung sagot doon, but kayo sa generation nyo, no? I think what hinders women or us to be the first one to take the move is that how the society perceives it. And sad to say, pasensya na sa aking mga ka-age, I think on some part we failed on that particular aspect. Kasi hanggang ngayon, may ganyang pang tanong. As long as may ganyang tanong, ibig sabihin, hindi pa ganun ka-comfortable ang mga babae, no, na i-embrace yung ganong side. Yun ang thank you for that question, pero isa pa sa maganda natin tingnan would be, paano kaya mag-react ang society about it? And I am challenging your generation. Kasi yung comfortability natin, no, na maging una magparamdam sa whether lalaki man or babae, regardless of the gender action. Yung comfortability, it will lie on how the people around us will react. Pero gusto ko lang din sabihin na, ano naman ngayon kung mag-react sila. Sorry but this is very non-traditional. Pero I think when you are adults already, ano naman kung ano i-react nila. It's a matter of expressing it in a very para kindly manner, as long as wala kang nasaktan, natatapakan tao. Okay? I think it's ideal.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Ma'am Au. I know every one of us supports women empowerment, so thank you for that, Miss Au. Miss Kia.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Al, for that response. Next po, we have a question for both of our speakers. We may ask Sir Ephraim to answer the question first po. The question comes like this for both speakers po. How do we make sure that we are responsibly engaging online? So that's the question po. Sir Ephraim, would you want to go first?
Again po ulit yung yung question. Sorry.
Okay po. The question, sir, is for both of us, how do we make sure that we are responsibly engaging online? Yan po, sir.
When it comes to engaging online, no? So parang yung term na engaging online kasi two-pronged lagi siya, di ba? Are we engaging as audiences or are we engaging as creators, di ba? And how can we responsibly do that? Una is as audiences or as creators, responsibility natin to arm ourselves with the proper skills, diba, and knowledge before we actually jump into the content that we are going to consume, diba? So as audiences, diba, as audiences or as creators, kailangan manggaling tayo sa what's the proper word? So manggaling tayo sa place where we are well informed and we are armed with the proper sources to guide us as we try to consume and create different content online. Diba? So in the sense na whatever you choose to consume, whatever you choose to post, this should be coming from the fact. This should be coming from the truth. This should be coming from a sense of peace. This should be coming from a sense of care for the people around you. Kasi ang tinuturo namin actually sa senior high school and sa mga future students, may take nyo to sa pag nag-grade 12 na kayo or grade 11, is a media and information literacy. It's all about creating a digital environment, diba? An environment where people are responsible, are critical, are caring for one another, nagfo-foster na magandang relationships online. So to be able to do that, diba? Our responsibility as users, hindi lang para sa sarili natin, pero para sa ibang mga tao din, is to arm ourselves with the facts, arm ourselves with the truth, arm ourselves with love and care for the people that we interact with online. Diba? Kailangan nating maging careful. Kailangan natin always i-consider ano yung mararamdaman or ano yung makukuha ng mga tao doon sa content that we will post, at tayo as audiences, we have to be careful on the things that we click dahil kailangan din natin pangalagaan ano yung mararamdaman natin kapag nag-consume tayo. So it's really about arming ourselves with all these knowledge and of course, yun nga, the facts and the truth, arming ourselves with the proper sources all the time. Yeah.
Thank you so much po, Sir Ephraim. How about po, Ma'am Au? Same question po, no? How do we ensure that we are engaging online responsibly? Ayan po, ma'am.
Ay po. So, I have to agree with sir. Nag-agree na lang pala, sir. I have to agree. Pero I'm coming from the perspective siguro, the psychological perspective. Aside from what Sir Ephraim said about the facts and the truth, siguro yung point na whatever you are projecting or whatever you are posting, it has to reflect of who you really are. Kasi nagkakaroon na ngayon, no, remember our lesson about cyber self. So, sometimes what we post or what we show on social media is not really us. So, siguro yun yung magandang isipin at tanong sa sarili natin, if there is parang very parang malayong-malayo ba? Okay? Kung sino tayo sa social media, kung sino talaga tayo. So, I think it's more on dapat kung sino talaga tayo, it also reflects our cyber self para walang masyadong incongruence na mangyayari because it will be posting a lot of discrepancies and issues. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Ma'am Au. So, Ma'am Au, we also have another question for you.
Sir Dodgy, sir, I think Sir Ephraim is raising his hand.
Okay. Sir Ephraim, go ahead.
Ang ganda ng sabi ni Ma'am Au, no? Dagdag ko lang din, 'di ba? Doon sa Pinoy just to piggyback lang doon sa sinabi niya. It's kailangan din ma-realize nating lahat na meron tayong iniiwan, no? Yung sinasabi ni Ma'am Au, meron tayong naiiwan na digital footprint. 'Di ba? Sa lahat ng ginagawa natin online, sa lahat ng everything that we consume, everything that we create, we are leaving digital footprints. And etong digital footprints na to, sometimes mga posts natin from 5 years ago, can still be tracked, can still be searched, can still be Googled. So we have to really be careful on the things that we post and consume because this could be tracked back to us eventually. So tama, I agree with Ma'am Au. Thank you, Ma'am, for that.
Thank you very much, that's Sir Ephraim and Miss Au Regio. Okay, so Miss Au, we have another question for you. Coming from Lucas Balagot. Shout out to you, Lucas. Okay, so his question is, Ma'am, is it possible for nung love, pwede rin ba mag-umpisa sa bata? Tapos yung pagtanda nila, they will get married at a young age. So, do you agree with that, ma'am, na pwede mangyari yon na they fell in love nung bata sila and after ilang years, they got married at a young age? Is that possible?
Ay po, ulit. Sir D and Sir Ma'am Tia, malinaw po ba? Baka mag-glitch na ako sa connection. Okay po.
Yes pa. Audible pa.
Okay po. So, first, siguro to answer that question, bakit hindi? Di ba, bakit naman hindi? I think it's really possible, no? At the end of the day, or at the end, or if we look into the reality, it's always about how people decide, okay, on what they're going to do with their relationship. So it's a decision of these people on how deep, how long, and how far they will go for the relationship. Yes, it's possible. Pero gusto ko lang din po malaman ng ating kabataan and young adults that yung time, hindi po talaga siya predictor, no, kung magtatagal kayo or may forever. Please always take note of that. Okay? Mahalaga ang time, of course, to get to know one another, but it's not always the main predictor of there will be that forever, okay? Or you will see that you will last for a long. Thank you po.
Okay. Thank you so much po, Ma'am Al. Next po, Sir George. No, we have another question, but I think this question is tailored to both of our speakers as well. The question, ma'am, is we have it from Miss Hannah. Sabi niya po, ask ko lang po, what things you can do to get to know the person you like online? Yon. So I think for Ma'am Au, paano po ba natin we do it online? And for Sir Ephraim, paano po ba yun? How can we detect to know the true person online po? Sige po. Anybody can answer first? How do we get to know the person you like online?
Sir F, gusto mo mauna?
Sige, ma'am. Paano mo makikilala yung certain person online? Well, unang-una is to verify kung tama ba o kung siya ba talaga yung kinakausap natin, because again, we have to be arming ourselves always with the truth and the facts, kasi nangyayari ito, ang tawag natin dito ay catfishing. 'Di ba? Ang tawag natin dito ay catfishing na it's a danger that many of us face, na wherein ang kinakausap pala natin ay hindi na yung totoong tao. 'Di ba? Gumagamit siya ng ibang picture ng ibang tao and they are posing as another person, at yun nga, whether to get to know us or to get private information from us. So pwede natin i-search, 'di ba? Pwede natin i-search yung pagkatao nito, a simple, siguro on the baseline, no? A simple Facebook search. Tingnan natin, totoong tao ba siya? May mga family pictures ba siya? May mga family pictures ba siya? Pag ginugol mo ba siya, may results ba na lalabas? Diba? But aside from that, how can we get to know them? Ngayon sa social media, napakarami ng tayong ways, diba? To connect with people. Napakarami na. Hindi na lang tayo dati limited sa face-to-face. Diba? In a more traditional way of meeting people, talagang kailangan makita mo siya ng harapan para makausap mo, makita mo kung ano itsura niya. But like what we're doing now, we're all online, nagkakakitaan tayo. Nagkakaroon tayo ng something more than just the first impression. Diba? We are getting to see their faces. We get to hear them talk. So pwede natin silang tawagan, pwede tayo makipag-Zoom, makipag-video call, makipag-FaceTime, mga bagay na ganito, diba? To get to know people na nakilala natin online. So we can carry conversations online. But again, diba? We have to be mindful. We have to be careful on doing these things because we always have to protect our information, and also the information that is, we have to protect the information that we are sharing out. Always remember that yung itsura natin, di ba, whatever we show out there, can leave a digital footprint, di ba? Kahit it's a simple call, for example, pwede tayong i-record. Di ba? Kunyari boses lang, pwede i-record yan. Makita ang itsura natin, pwede pa rin i-record yan. Di ba? So we have to be mindful of the things that we share, di ba? As we communicate to these people na we tend to like, di ba? So yun, di ba? We can maximize the use of media sa pagdating sa bagay na yan.
Okay, thank you so much po, Sir Ephraim. How about Ma'am Al?
Aside from agreeing with Sir, no, siguro mas less formal na sagot. Stock ko talaga. Sorry pero stock ko talaga. Lalo na ngayon that ang dami-dami talagang nagtatagfish. Alam niyo naman yan. Familiar ba sa Tinder Swindler? Ayoko lang mag-prolong kasi we don't have any time. But I had this experience na may nag-message sa akin sa IG na Korean guy. Okay? Hindi ko na po ikukwento masyado, pero it was, if kung medyo vulnerable yung feeling ko and you're into this kinds of guys, no? Talagang you will fall into that particular bait, no? But if you're going to research on it, might ang dami palang ganung profile, hindi pala siya totoong tao. So, at saka, aside from what Sir Efrain said, I think yung question na kailangan tanongin is, worth it ba ng time natin na mag-stalk sa tao? So, gaano ba siya ka-importante? Bakit ba natin siya nag-aaksaya ng energy at time? Okay, so, aside from that, yung importance, no, gaano na ba siya ka-importante? Kasi, of course, stalking someone and looking into this person is okay. Pero bakit ba natin siya ginagawa? Importante na ba talaga siya sa'yo para gawin mo yun? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Au. So, Ma'am Au, we have another question for you, specifically for you from a student. So, Ma'am Au, the question is, Ma'am Au, is it okay to have feelings for someone that has the same gender as me? So, okay lang ba po na ma-in-love daw po ang bata with someone na pareho po sila ng gender?
Okay, I will be answering this in a very general manner. Okay, una po sa lahat, what we feel are valid, our emotions are valid. So, ibig sabihin lang po, lagi natin sinasabi. So, ibig sabihin lang po yun. Regardless kung kanino natin siya mararamdaman, regardless of gender, culture, kung kaninong tao, it will always be a valid feeling. Okay? So, kung meron kang feelings para sa ibang tao at ibang gender yun, okay? Ang tanong niya, Sir George, is okay lang ba? Is that the question? Okay lang ba?
Yes, ma'am. Okay lang ba po na ma-in-love po siya with kapwa po niya babae or kapwa po niya lalaki?
Okay. Sige. Again, regardless of the feeling, in love, hatred, whatever it is, I think that feeling is valid. Kasi ang emosyon, na feelings natin, hindi naman yung nagdedepende sa gender, no, ng ibang tao. Okay? So, hindi yun na nagde-dictate para may maramdaman tayo para sa. And the answer is yes.
Thank you very much for that, Ma'am Au. And we fully support everyone who is part of the LGBTQIA+ spectrum. Okay, Ms. Kea?
Okay, and for our last question po for today, ayan po, let me just read it. Here po. Ayan po, the question is, Sir, I have a question po. Sa social media, many countries po are banned po sa social media because of some reasons po. Pero I'm curious po, if social media po ay hindi naman lahat ay masama, why are they banning it po? Halos lahat naman po sa nakikita natin sa social media ay positive po. Medyo konti lang yung negative po. I'm curious po. Yon. I think that's for Sir Ephraim. No?
Yes. Oh, okay. So this is a very good question, no? And actually very advanced yung curiosity, no? Na bakit ganito? We have to understand, di ba, na lahat tayo nung gumagamit ng social media, di ba, pag gumamit tayo ng social media, it would seem like, di ba, it would seem like we don't have any countries. It would seem like we are living in just one environment. But honestly, di ba, and actually, when you look at it, ang mga tao are still confined in our own different countries. At sa bawat bansa, di ba, may iba-iba silang policies, may iba-iba silang way ng pag-treat ng information. Some information or some social media sites may be banned in certain countries because of their laws. Di ba? Mayroon silang mga batas na nagpipigil sa kanila na mag-publish or mag-create ng social media na ma-access ng kanilang mga tao, 'di ba? So depende sa gobyerno, depende sa kanilang mga batas kung bakit may mga apps na hindi kayang ma-access ng ibang tao sa ibang bansa. 'Di ba? So for example, bigyan ko kayo ng example. For example sa China, 'di ba? Sa China gumagamit sila ng hindi internet, 'di ba? Ang internet kasi sa atin, ang internet is so open, 'di ba? Open source siya. Talagang kahit ano nang search mo sa Google makikita mo. Ang intranet, 'di ba? Ang intranet naman sa China, 'di ba? Closed circuit siya. So ibig sabihin ng closed circuit, kung ano man yung pinapublish ng China sa kanilang mga social media, sila lang ang meron noon. 'Di ba? So for example, meron silang sarili nilang Facebook, meron silang sarili nilang YouTube, meron silang sarili nilang Twitter at many other versions of what we have here in the internet. Many countries actually are considering that as constricting, di ba? Hindi siya ganun kaganda because nalilimit yung access ng information ng isang tao to what the government is just giving. So again, depende siya, di ba? Depende siya sa kung paano na co-curate o kung paano nagagawa ang batas ng isang bansa, sa kung paano din magkakaroon ng social media sa kanila. So maybe that's the reason why, and that's the reason why actually kung bakit may mga apps na may social media na hindi na-access ng ibang tao. Pero ibang usapan ito kung for example, bakit may mga hindi tayo napapanood na videos dito. Di ba minsan pag nag-click kayo sa YouTube, this is banned in your country. Another usapan pa yan, di ba? Kasi may mga content na hindi pinapayagan mapalabas dito sa Pilipinas. Again, it's all about the laws dahil siya sa mga batas. So, hindi rin siya about kung whether masama or mabuti ang lahat na nakikita natin sa social media. Actually, hindi natin pwedeng i-assume lagi, di ba? I-correct natin yun. Hindi natin pwedeng i-assume na puro positive lang ang social media. Probably tayo, may mga tao sa atin na puro positive lang ang nakikita sa social media and that's good. Di ba? Ibig sabihin, maganda yung mga fina-follow mo na mga tao, maganda yung mga fina-follow mo na pages at wala kang nakikitang negativity. But out there, actually, merong mga tao that are experiencing negativity on social media. Napakadami. And we don't wish that on anybody, of course. Kaya may mga bansa na naglilimit nito. Di ba? May mga bansa na naglilimit, may mga bansa na nagtatry na hindi ito ma-experience ng kanilang mga tao. So again, iba-ibang mga bansa, iba-ibang mga batas, iba-iba din ang pagdating sa policy or sa mga papayagan ng mga social media na magamit, 'di ba? So parang sa school din 'yan, 'di ba? Sa school sa kadalasan, 'di ba, lalo na kung face to face tayo, may mga apps tayo na hindi pwede i-download, may mga apps tayo na dapat lang yun lang ang ginagamit. So parang ganoon lang din siya.
Okay, thank you so much po, sir, for addressing that question. And I think, Sir George, that's all the questions that we have for today. And that ends our Q&A portion for this morning. And we're almost nearing the end of our discussion for this morning. Kaya, Sir George, the next part would be, of course, if you have already heard the Pleasant Mount School, by this time, we would also want to hear from the principal of the UST Senior High School for her inspirational message. Ladies and gentlemen, Assistant Professor Mary Erica N. Bolaños, LPT PhD, the principal of UST Senior High School.
Anxiety, stress, and in some cases, trauma are prevalent as we live through the COVID-19 pandemic. But I am happy that despite all of this that is happening around us and all that we are experiencing, I'm happy that you are all here. The anxiety, stress, and as our speakers mentioned a while ago, those effects that happened because of COVID-19 pandemic are all experienced by students, parents, and even teachers. All of us, we experience our own personal stresses. But even with all of these stressors, I'm sure that our parents, the teachers, and students, we all are trying to remain connected by building strong relationships. Hindi natin mapagkakaibla na ang pagkakaroon ng magandang relasyon o pakaibigan sa kapwa, ay isa sa susi kung papaano magiging malusog ang pangatawan, ang isip, at maski ang buhay spiritual. Strong relationships promote learning. When schools closed their doors in March 2020, anniversary na nung kahapon, these connections went away for many. Building trusting relationships will be critical to addressing the months of stress, the years of stress, and missed classroom instruction or unfinished learning that has followed. But today, I am glad that despite the online setup, we are able to make new relationships, forge a common direction, common aspirations. We are here to collaborate with each other, and we are happy, of course, to collaborate with Pleasant Mount School in this activity. Maraming salamat po sa pag-imbita niyo sa amin. No? At gusto na malaman niyo na malugod naming tinanggap ito dahil naniniwala kami na hindi mahihinto ng pandemya ang relasyon na pwedeng mabuo ng eskwelahan sa kapwa niyang eskwelahan, sa mga magulang at mga guro, at sa mga estudyante. We hope to continue to forge relationship with you. My congratulations to the philosophy, personal development, and media and information literacy learning areas for the successful event. We thank the UST Simbahayan Community Development Senior High School, and most especially, we thank you, all of you, participants. Salamat sa oras na inilaan ninyo. May we all continue to strive and thrive despite these difficult times. God bless us all. Pagpalain po tayo ng may kapal.
Very inspiring words from our principal from the UST Senior High School. So, Ms. Kia.
And that, Sir Joji, I think ends our session for this morning. I hope our students, our faculty members, and even the members of the UST Senior High School are very, very happy to be with the TPMS this morning. Before we answer, Georgie, I would just like to remind our students for this morning, please answer our post-event evaluation. The QR code is already projected in front of you. You may just have it scanned and then finish the post-event evaluation. That would also be recorded and would also serve as your attendance for today's event. Yan po.
And we would also like to thank especially our co-faculty from the USC Senior High School, and especially the wonderful people from the Pleasant Mount School and everyone who attended and participated in our event. We're very thankful, and we hope that all of you will have a very good day.
Okay, and for that, Sir George, magte-thank you din po tayo to our UST Senior High School team headed by Miss Arlene. Thank you so much po for inviting the UST Senior High School. For our colleagues who are here today from the PD Philo team and our MIL team, maraming salamat po. For our speakers, Ma'am Al and Sir Ephraim, thank you for sharing your knowledge and expertise to our students this morning for their teenage webinar. On our chat box, my dear students, the link was also posted. If you cannot scan the QR code. You may just click on that link and accomplish your post-event evaluation. So once again, tulad nga po ng sinabi ni Doc Erica, thank you so much and we're very happy to have this collaboration with you. And once again, I am Miss Kiana and together with me is Sir George. Thank you for being with us this morning. God bless you all. Keep safe and we can do this. Bye!
Goodbye. Thank you very much,
Thank
everyone,
you
and
po.
God
See you next
bless.
meeting po. Thank you po. See you next meeting po.
Thank you
Thank
po sa
you.
inyong lahat. Salamat po.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
Thank
po.
you po.
Thank you po!
Thank you
Thank
po.
you.
Thank you po. Thank you po.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you.